they didn't lose the game with reason number one being Clayton Kershaw last night. They didn't. The bats did nothing in the game. But he didn't help in terms of, yes, when that game was still close, when the margin of error is so slim, he wasn't the Clayton Kershaw that we know. You know, this is a guy that he'll be a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's been an 8-time All-Star, won an MVP, won 3 Cy Youngs, Triple Crown.
On the air since 1948, WKTY has been covering high school sports in the Cooley region, a tradition that continues today. In addition to hearing the game on WKTY, you can watch the game on the WKTY app with video streaming of tonight's game compliments of Firefighters Credit Union. Now, the WKTY High School Football Game of the Week with the voice of WKTY Sports, Drew Kelly and Hunter Bamgradt. Now, let's head to the field for tonight's action.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome into high school football right here on WKTY 96.7 FM, 580 AM. Drew Kelly live with you here tonight from West Salem High School, where this evening it's a Mississippi Valley Conference matchup as the Tomah Timberwolves 1-1 match up with the home team West Salem Panthers at 0-1 on the season. So glad you can tune in here on WKTY, all of our platforms that are doing the video streaming as well. We appreciate all of the viewership and listenership here on a pretty cold Friday night, so we're glad that you're with us here today. And Hunter Bamgradt joining me as well. And Hunter, two teams that obviously have lost on Alaska. Both teams now have some game film on them. West Salem, I would expect a very more polished West Salem team, especially offensively here in this second game of the season.
Yeah, I think so too. I think last week we saw a couple of things that kind of stood out from West Salem as far as things that could be cleaned up, and they're pretty easy. Clock management, some of the snaps going over the punter's head or the quarterback's head. I think those can be cleaned up easily. What impressed me the most about West Salem last week when we covered that 15-13 loss on Alaska was just the not only, I mean, they're pretty disciplined overall, but just how well they battled and played against an Alaska team who was playing their third game of the season, and now West Salem, who was just playing their first game. I thought they battled really well against a good Alaska team. Their offense wasn't able to do as well as they probably wanted to. They had 148 total yards of offense, but I think that can be probably will do a little better this time against a little bit worse of a Tomah defense. But I was just impressed with the fight of West Salem, and on the Tomah side, they lost on Alaska, but then they bounced back with a win last week after getting a week off, and they beat Reedsburg comeback in the fourth quarter. Then they ended up winning 28-24. So these two teams, I think this will be a pretty evenly matched game, and I think this will be a fun one here tonight.
Obviously, the quarterback for the Tomah Timberwolves, Justin Gerke, a senior for the Timberwolves, and taking a look at what Aiden Larson was able to do against West Salem last week, it's a fairly similar skill set in terms of height, being able to stay in the pocket, deliver the football. Gerke's got a pretty solid arm, so obviously West Salem's got their work cut out for them again, especially in the secondary. Yeah,
I think so too, and I think West Salem's going to see a lot of kind of the same type of offense they saw last week in Alaska. I think they're going to see a fair amount of passing, and then complementing with the running game, and then the running game worked pretty well for Alaska against West Salem last week. But it was some goal line stands that kept West Salem in that game, and like I said, they fought to the end. So I think this will be kind of a similar game to that game in Alaska last week. But again, I think these two are evenly matched, and this should be a good one. Gerke, like you said, is a talented senior quarterback.
391 yards and 2 touchdowns in 2 games so far for Justin Gerke. Also, they like to tote the rock, like to mix in a little bit. Brandon Luke, 25 carries, 84 yards and a touchdown, and Evan Westfall right behind him, 11 carries, 31 yards and 2 touchdowns for him on the season. We're going to take a 3-minute break. We'll be having more of our pregame show right after this. You're listening to the High School Football Game of the Week right here on WKTY.
If you're a sports fan, you can't afford to miss the Dan Patrick Show on WKTY. Let's bring in the very popular Nick Wright from First Things First on Fox Sports 1. Who is the best player ever, Nick?
Dan, you know the answer to this. We know it's LeBron, and it is going to be, in 25 years, folks aren't going to believe we argued about it. It's like, well, one guy was bigger, he was faster, he was stronger, he did it longer, he did it in a tougher league, he did it when the rules were kind of designed against him. He did it over a far longer period of time. He scored more points. He was obviously the better passer. What were we arguing about? The 2011 finals, it is a meltdown. It is a giant blemish on the resume. But it's been a decade. And since then, he's played in the last game of the year every year, except for the year he tore his groin.
Don't miss the Dan Patrick Show. Weekday mornings 9 to 11 on WKTY 96.7 FM, 580 AM.
Hey, it's Dave Carney back here with you. I want to talk to you a minute about my friend and my insurance agent, Kurt Paff, at the State Farm Insurance Agency in Onalaska. Kurt's been a part of this program for over a year now, and it became really clear to me over the last couple of months that I needed to move my insurance, which has been with State Farm for some time, to the Kurt Paff State Farm Insurance Agency for a number of great reasons. The first thing is this. Kurt and I, we've got the same goals. We've got the same mindset. We want to insure our families. We want to build a better tomorrow by making smart and sound decisions today. Kurt also has a full suite of products that not every insurance agency has. My homes, both of them, my condo and my home in Stoddard, my autos, my life insurance, my disability insurance, my investments are with Kurt Paff at the State Farm Insurance Agency in Onalaska. It's not just auto and home. It's the full package of services that Kurt offers. That's the biggest reason that I decided to take all of my business to Kurt. If you're thinking about insurance and you're thinking about it in a way that maybe is very narrow, just auto and home, think bigger. Think about your long-term prospects with somebody who is going to have the abilities to help you navigate all of the challenges we're dealing with today in the world of COVID and what could be coming up next. If we found out anything from 2020, it's this. We have absolutely no idea what's coming next. And the best way to guard against the unknown is with sound insurance planning. From Kurt Paff, the Onalaska State Farm Insurance Agent. He's my agent. He should be yours too.
Midwest Family Entertainment.
You're getting married and there are so many things to do, but one thing that I can help you with is the entertainment. I'm Brittany Stiles, the manager of Midwest Family Entertainment, the one you'll be meeting with to discuss music and timeline and all of the little details that mean so much. If you're getting married next year or the year after, or maybe you're throwing together a last-minute winter wedding, I'd love to talk with you. Head to our website and click on reservations to get connected with me.
MidwestFamilyEntertainment.com.
Back here at West Salem, Drew Kelly, Hunter Bamgradt live with you here as we get set for kickoff shortly as the West Salem Panthers take on the Tomah Timberwolves in a conference matchup here this evening. I want to thank all of our Sportscaster Club sponsors, Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning, Firefighters Credit Union, who's also sponsoring the video feed here tonight, Fossum Funeral Home, Kratt Lumber, Mr. Electric, Schumacher Kish Funeral Home, Wafer, Dagnevsky Heating and Air Conditioning, Tiller Furniture, Tostard and Temp, 5-Star Telecom, Ace of Lacrosse, and Dark Fox Enterprises. Really do appreciate all those fine sponsors for helping us give you these games each and every Friday night. And coming up next week, as long as the schedule still does hold, the Aquinas Blue Golds will be back here along with us here at West Salem High School as the Blue Golds, who are undefeated on the season, really high-powered offense. They're going to be taking on the West Salem Panthers. So we'll see if they can get past their opponent here tonight and if West Salem can get back to 500 on the season as we continue throughout the playoffs, or the regular season here. About 3 or 4 more weeks to go of the high school football season. And obviously, Hunter, with the season of changes, everything is just kind of in flux right now, but you kind of take it day by day, week by week, as cliche as that sounds.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a situation where, you're grateful for every opportunity you get to take the field this season. We're grateful for every opportunity you get to put the headsets on and call a football game. So, yeah, it's obviously the playoffs may or may not happen, whatever. I don't know how that's going to look exactly, but, this is the weird part is this is usually the time where we have football, where we have playoffs. So it's cold and you're thinking, wow, how is this only the 3rd game of the year for Tomah and the 2nd game of the year for West Salem and it's this cold? Well, of course we got started a month later, so everything's going to be set back a month. So we've got regular season going through 2nd, 3rd week of November, and so that just might be the end of it there. But yeah, this is going to be we're going to have some colder nights, I think, than usual heading into these next couple of weeks.
Which is why you can certainly download the Roku app on your TV, on the WKTY app on Roku. If you have a Roku TV, or if you can download that app, you can certainly watch this game here on WKTY. Thanks to Firefighters Credit Union. And again, we appreciate all those Sportscaster Club sponsors helping bring you these games each and every week. We're going to take one final break. National Anthem coming up here at West Salem High School, and we'll be back for the kickoff right after this. You're listening to the high school football game of the week right here on WKTY.
Your home for sports in western Wisconsin is WKTY Lacrosse 96.7 FM 580 AM, the home of the Green Bay Packers, the Milwaukee Brewers, and Milwaukee Bucks. Plus, all the best high school and local college action is on WKTY Lacrosse 96.7 FM 580 AM.
If it's happening in Wisconsin sports, you'll hear about it on the Wisco Sports Show.
This Packers team is really, really good. And right now, and I'm not afraid to stick my neck out and say it, maybe I'll be proven wrong, but I don't think so. This is the Packers conference to lose at this point. And I know it's early, got to stay healthy. You got to continue to improve and adjust and trend in the right direction and win games you're supposed to win and blow out weak opponents. And they got to work A.J. Dillon into the fold. And they got to bring MVS along. And they got to keep Adams healthy. And they got to keep Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams healthy. And the offensive line has to keep up this insane level of play. And defensively, they got to get healthy. And their pass rush has to improve. And their safety needs to play better. And Kamal Martin needs to come back. And he needs to tackle better. All of these things are true. But right now, God, do the Packers look good. And I am very excited. I'm sniffing the Packers cocaine. I'm drinking the green and gold Kool-Aid right now.
Talking Wisconsin sports with Grant Bills. It's the Wisco Sports Show. Weekdays from 4 to 6 on WKTY.
Hey, it's Dave, host of the WKTY Morning Show. Hope you are enjoying a very good Friday and a wonderful weekend. Friday, don't forget, high school football is on WKTY. Drew Kelly, Hunter Bumbart bring you West Salem versus Tomah. Sunday, the Green Bay Packers take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers meet for just the third time in their respective careers. On Monday, we'll break down all of the fun from over the weekend. We'll talk to Joe DeGuano and Grant Bills, host of the Wisco Sports Show. Have a great one. See you bright and early, 6 o'clock on Monday.
Drew Kelly, Hunter Bamgradt, live with you here tonight as we just had a version of the national anthem over a CD that I think skipped a few times, and we got some taps involved in there, and Amazing Grace, and I think a few other songs as well.
That was wild. That was a wild one.
It was. So we've got a football game coming up here in just a little bit as the Panthers take on the Timberwolves, and didn't see who won the toss, so we'll see who elects to kick and who elects to receive, and keys to the early part of the game, Hunter.
Yeah, I think it's just for West Salem. I think it's just doing the little things like that they could clean up from last week. They showed really good promise on that defensive side of the ball against a good Onalaska offense last week. I think if they continue to do that, along with cleaning up some of the things that they didn't do well last week, clock management, some snaps over the head, they're going to be a really formidable opponent. And for Tomah, I think it's just continue to do what they're doing. They've had an impressive start to the year. Of course, didn't have a great showing against Onalaska, but then a great comeback win last week. I think they're fired up. It looks like. So is West Salem. This should be a great game. I'm excited for it.
Going to be a new quarterback for the West Salem Panthers. Noah LaFleur not starting tonight. Brett McConkey will be in the game. Also note that LaFleur, who normally plays safety, is not in on defense. I'm not sure if an injury or what the situation is. But as we talked about with West Salem all of last year, it's next man up. It was a lot of young players, a lot of new revolving door type of situation, especially at the quarterback position. 3 quarterbacks playing last season. Obviously, LaFleur getting a bulk of those snaps, but Justin Barney got some snaps, who is a current wide receiver, and now it will be the West Salem Panthers who are going to kick off to the Tomah Timberwolves. So we'll see Justin Gerke, the senior quarterback, first for the Tomah Timberwolves. Back to receive the kick is going to be number 5, Ethan McClurg.
For the Timberwolves.
And for the West Salem Panthers, kicking off will be Brett McConkey. We'll see him at quarterback, but first he's got some duties on special teams. Move from right to left, Tomah from left to right here in this first quarter. Hand is up in the air. Here's the run-up of the kick, and we're underway from West Salem on a football Friday night. McClurg takes it from the 20-yard line, gets across the 30, runs into his own defenders, his own blockers, and he gets out across the 30 to about the 33-yard line. So decent field position for the Timberwolves as we get the first offensive possession of the game here on WKTY. And I think at the last second he realized he's not going to really plow through his own men, and he tried to bounce it outside, but by that time West Salem had it corralled.
Yeah, Tomah starting on 22, 232 yards and a score through the air, in addition to his touchdown run against Reedsburg.
First down and 10, one receiver out to the left side, split backs in the backfield, two receivers lined up to the right side. Gerke under center, he'll hand it off up the middle this time, and it's going to be a gain of about 2 on the play. Just straight up the gut to one of those backs in the backfield, and that was big number 33, Brandon Luke. And the 5'11", 185-pound senior gives him second down and an 8.
Yeah, well, West Salem's defense last week against Onalaska points. Run defense was pretty good at times as well. More impressive maybe on the pass defensive side, but that defensive line for West Salem is very stout.
Two receivers out to the right side again, one to the left. Once again, split backs in the backfield. Gerke under center, hands it off once again, this time to Luke, and Luke gets out across the 40 to the 41-yard line. Now a ball comes loose, but they say he was down before he lost it. That's a pretty good gain on second down and medium. Brings up third and short for the Timberwolves.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they go to the run here again. That just opened up a hole there on the right side of the line. Very nice job by the offensive lineman of the Tomah Timberwolves to get a hole for Luke, and he was able to get through. And now a very third and manageable situation.
This time, one receiver out to the right side, two to the left. Janivico lined up in the slot on the left side. Two split backs in the backfield. It's going to be a handoff. Guess who? It's Luke, and this time not going anywhere. What's stones them back, and it's going to be fourth down and short. So decision time on the first possession of the game for the Tomah's coaching staff.
Yeah, let's see what they do. Yeah, I don't know. They're at the 42-yard line. They're going to measure here, but this would be a kind of risky. But then again, if you trust your defense, I think you kind of tell your defense, okay, we go for it even if we miss it. We trust you. So, kind of a statement from the Tomah coaching staff.
And those first two runs were fairly effective, and obviously that third one, not so much. Good defensive line play by the Panthers that time to stone them back. Half. And so that moves the chains and at the 43-yard line, but that's what they pay us for, is
because of his ability to get height and get up. But he was very open as well, so probably one that Gerke wants back. But we shall see what happens here on second down.
Second down and 10. It's two receivers out to the left side, one to the right. Williams alone on the bottom of your screen if you're watching on the Firefighters Credit Union sponsored stream. And here is the counter play. It's going to go to the speedster, Evan Westfall, and Westfall breaks an ankle tackle in the backfield, gets tripped up past the 50 down to the 49-yard line. It's going to be third down and 2. That was a nice designed run play there that kind of got everybody in the backfield, and sneaking out of the backfield there was Westfall.
Yeah, that was really good. Just a kind of a different way to run the football to your halfback. So very creative play, and now Tomah sets themselves up with another third and short. We'll see if they decide to run like they did last time.
Two backs in the backfield, Westfall and Luke, and one receiver left, two right. Gerke under center again. They're just inside the 50-yard line, and now here's a run up the middle. This time it's their power back, Luke, and Luke plows ahead for a first down, gain of about 4. And this first drive for Tomah, very impressive so far, Hunter.
The football, and one pass going for that incompletion. Otherwise, it's been a lot of run, and so far it's worked against West Salem, against their defense, who let up a fair amount of rushing yards last week, but they were able to stop them when it counted. Back in the red zone, back in the goal line stand or two. They got Onalaska on a 4th and goal. So I think they're going to be happy if they can get Tomah not to score on this drive.
One receiver split to each side is going to be Janivico on a jet sweep, and that time it's going absolutely nowhere. Getting in there for the stop on the far end of the field, it was number 22 here for the West Salem Panthers. Schmidt on the tackle. Great job by him. Sam Schmidt, the sophomore, getting in there for the stop. It's going to be second down and 12. So for the first time, they go a little bit side to side, and that time you see West Salem finally say not going to happen on this play.
Yeah, they read that perfectly, and were able to. Those guys on the right side stayed home. That's what you're taught to do. and they were able to tackle him right there before he even got back to the line of scrimmage.
So 2nd and 12 at the 47-yard line. 2 receivers out to each side this time, so a 4-receiver set. Shotgun formation in the backfield. Here's Gerke straight back in the pocket. Goes deep over the middle, and it's going to be incomplete, and a pass interference is going to be called. Janivico had a step there on his defender and just had to reach out and grab him to make sure it wasn't an easy touchdown. Noah LaFleur, who actually is playing defense. He's playing cornerback here tonight. It's called for the pass interference. And just kind of take your 15 yards and move on at that point, because it looked like a pretty easy touchdown.
Yeah, I think that would have been basically a perfect throw from Gerke. And so it makes sense that it was pass interference. And now, give him 15 and try not to let him score on the next couple of plays here.
Trying to see if they gave him 10 or 15. It looks like the ref gave up the holding signal. But either way, it is an automatic first down. You would think with it being that far down the field, it would have been pass interference. But as it is, it's going to be a first down for the Tomah Timberwolves.
Your penalty makes 2nd down and 2.
Okay, it's not an automatic first down.
That's interesting.
2 receivers out to the right side, 1 to the left. Split backs to the backfield. And here is Gerke under center with 2 backs in the backfield split. Handoff up the middle, this time to Luke again. He fumbled the football, and it looks like West Salem has pounced on it, but then they lose control, and it looks like Tomah might have gotten back on it after his second scurry. That is a very big break for the Tomah Timberwolves there, as Luke was unable to hang on to the football. It was knocked out of his hands there as he was in a pile, but then the Panthers unable to grasp it. And so it stays with the Timberwolves, who pick up first down.
Yeah, golden opportunity there. Ball was sitting on the turf, and West Salem just couldn't hop on it. After getting that penalty, that was the break they were kind of looking for to get right back at Tomah. But no, Tomah recovers, and they've got a fresh set of downs inside the 35 of West Salem.
2 receivers out to the right side, 1 to the left. Once again, split backs to the backfield. Going left to right are the Timberwolves. 7:38 to go here. Is to Luke, and he gets across the 30 down to the 29-yard line. Pickup of only 2 on the play. It's going to be 2nd down and 8. And these are going to be some long drives if this is kind of the way this game is going. We're going to be out of here by 9 o'clock for sure.
Yeah, Gerke is a good quarterback, but so far they've really pushed the run, and so far it has just gotten them methodically down the field. And that's what we saw in the last couple of weeks in the games we did over at Unalaska. Just a lot of running the football and slowly, methodically making their way down the field.
Once again, 2 receivers right, 1 left. It's going to set up a play action at one of these points, and here's a flag, and that's going to push them back 5 yards, as it looked like the center was a little bit herky-jerky as trying to get the quarterback the football there, and it's going to be a 5-yard penalty. This is kind of a passing down. That's where we saw the previous long pass from Gerke to Janivico. We'll see if they put it in the air this time.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if they did. A 2nd and long situation here, and Gerke, they trust him. He's a good quarterback. Like I said, he had a pretty nice game against Reedsburg last week, 14 for 22, 232 yards. He passed and rushed for a touchdown, so he can do it with his legs as well. So definitely be careful. He's a senior quarterback. More experience at the quarterback position in high school makes a big difference.
2 receivers right, 2 left, 2 receivers on each side. Shotgun formation again. Pressure in his face. He fires over the middle. It's going to be incomplete. LaFleur, as well as Xander Williams, had their feet tangled up in the secondary. No flag there. It's going to be 3rd down and 12. Good pressure up front caused the difference in that one.
Yeah, trying to go over kind of on the right side there, and I think, like you said, they just got their feet tangled. Incidental contact, no flags, but that's one. Gerke's gone deep a couple of times now, and they've seemed like pretty good throws. It's just that the wide receivers haven't been getting down there. One was a holding call, and now just their wide receiver tripping and falling down.
6:33 to go in the first quarter. Drew Kelly, Hunter Bamgradt, live with you here tonight on WKTY. Split receivers, 2 of them to each side. Shotgun formation in the backfield. Luke, the back with Gerke to his right. Some screen action being applied here. Here's Luke with a catch, and it's going to be a tackle there. I believe it's going to be a loss on the play. Nobody fooled, as Luke was dumped at the 36-yard line, so a loss of 3 on the play. We're bringing up 4th down and 15, and you're almost in no man's territory at this point at your own the opponent 35-yard line, so we'll see what kind of play call the Tomah coaching staff comes up with.
Yeah, I mean, you could do a punt here and try to really pin them back, try to get an out-of-bounds play maybe inside the 10-yard line. But like you said, yeah, you're at the 35, so that's not the easiest.
Touchback would basically be a 15-yard difference, and it looks like that Gerke will be, for the moment, the quarterback, and they can certainly do a pooch punt if they want to do that. And receiver go in motion from right to left. 3 receivers out to the left side, 1 to the right. Stepping up, good protection, firing deep down the right sideline for Xander Williams. And it's going to be incomplete. Williams literally took it away from the cornerback. Good coverage on the play, but he was out of bounds when he finally secured the football. It's going to be a turnover on downs, and after a very long drive, over 6 minutes and almost 30 seconds, West Salem will have possession on their first drive of the game.
Yeah, that was a really good catch down there. Like you said, just fell out of bounds. Now, if you're the corner of West Salem there, you do not want to catch that ball. You just want to put it to the turf because, if you intercept it down at the 2, that's way worse than having the ball at the 35-yard line. So for West Salem, it's almost kind of the best case scenario on that play.
Kind of shading him to the sideline so he wouldn't have position to get his feet in regardless of whether he would have caught it or not. So good angling and good defense there by West Salem. And it's going to be 2 receivers out to the right side and 2 to the left. We got shotgun formation here for the West Salem offense as Brett McConkey takes his first snaps at quarterback, the sophomore. It's going to be a pass, a play action fake, and they're going to go to the right side. Wrapped up after a gain of about 7 or 8. That's a first down play of about 8 yards. It's 2nd down and 2.
Yeah, first play McConkey under center, and they go with a pass. Just get him right, throw him right into the fire, if you will, and it works out great with a gain of 8. And West Salem, if they can, do those short passes, they are against Onalaska, but they also can do that short game, and that could serve them well.
2nd down and 2. Again, a shotgun formation. 3 receivers left, 1 right. Here's the run to the left side. It's a big hole, and it's going to be a big gain. Still on his feet that time is Colin Dumars, and he's rumbling inside the 25 all the way down to the 22-yard line. Great exterior blocking by the wide receivers to spring him on that play, but then great individual effort as well as he drug defenders for about 10 yards.
That was a beautiful blocked play by, like you said, the wide receivers. He literally just fouled his blockers, and that's what he did for most of that run, and then he got the 10 extra yards after spinning away from a defender. Impressive blocking and impressive running.
5:15 to go here in the first quarter. 1 receiver split out to the right side. Trips receivers to the left, including Jack Healy. And now Colin Dumars goes out into the backfield. He gets a swing pass. This time he is met for about a 3 or 4 yard gain out to the 30-yard line, or 20-yard line rather. It's about a 3-yard gain. Good tackle on the perimeter there to limit it, but it's going to be 2nd down and 7.
Yeah, another just a little quick play there for West Salem, and yeah, after that long run, they are set up real well against Tomah. And Tomah, of course, like you said, took over 6 minutes with that possession and ended up with no points. And now West Salem quickly down the field, and they're farther than Tomah was. And that's the risk you ran with that 4th and 15 when you went for it, and not trying to pin them back, is you give West Salem a short field, and now Tomah a little maybe confused on the defensive side.
3 receivers right, 1 left, shotgun formation again. It's going to be a long handoff, actually a draw play, so it's going to be McConkey with his first run of the game, and he picks up another 6 or 7. It's going to be 3rd down and short, so the first read option in the game for the West Salem offense after some really fine passing by McConkey over those first few plays.
Yeah, absolutely. That was an impressive run, and they just keep getting 5-6 yards each play, and that one fooled me. If you're watching on our stream, I went and followed the running back on that one, so that was a beautiful fake, and McConkey showing he can do with his legs.
3rd down and 3, shotgun formation again. Dumars, 2 McConkey's left, 3 receivers right, 1 left. They're going to hand it off this time to Dumars. Once again, good blocking. He cuts out to the outside trying to get the angle. He's going to be close to a 1st down, and I think he got it. He finally was wrapped up, going sideways more than forwards, but all he needed was 3, and he got 3.5, and it moves the chains for the Panthers.
Yeah, West Salem with a beautiful drive. Nice mix of nice play calling on this drive.
Really is.
Some pass, some run, some option. Just absolutely kind of just keeping Tomah absolutely on their toes and not not knowing what the West Salem offense is going to throw at him next.
I will say McConkey brings just a different element as far as his athleticism, but also his ability to throw the ball, because how many times do we have 4 receivers on the field for West Salem? It's basically every play this time. And here is a read option again. Wide open up the middle. Finally just smashes into a linebacker there. It was McConkey who gets across the 10-yard line down to the 9. And it looks like not a 3 or 4 yard, 5-yard gain, call it. Pretty good play there on 1st and 10. Just a big collision in the middle of the field, but the read option worked again. 2nd down.
Yeah, McConkey's a big guy, so, compared to LaFleur for sure, and he's a guy who can he can almost turn into a running back and kind of run people over.
1 receiver out to the right side, 3 to the left. McConkey again in the shotgun. Dumars to his left. They hand it to Dumars this time. Dumars lowers his shoulder, and he's going to get in for the touchdown. Colin Dumars from 7 yards out, getting the job done at about the 3-yard line is where he was met, but he was not to be denied. It's 6-0 West Salem. Fantastic opening drive.
Absolutely fantastic. You said it, and Dumars with some great running on that drive. Couple of chunks of 5 to 6 yards, but also that big run to get him within the 25-yard line. Impressive play calling and impressive blocking, too. That offensive line did a fantastic job for the West Salem Panthers on that drive.
Extra point upcoming here for Joseph Daly, and it's straight up, and it's straight in. It's 7-0 West Salem. So they get the stop after a long offensive possession for Tomah, and then come right back in about 3 minutes and score on their opening possession. We've got 60-second break, and we're back after this. This is the high school football game of the week right here on WKTY.
This is Tailgating Tales with Bert Kowalski. Episode 22. There'll be no toilet wine before it's time.
It was late September of '92. The Bengals are in town and managed to take out Packers starting QB, the Magic Man, Dan Mikowski. Inner stage left, and then fresh-faced Brett Favre. Engineers a beautiful fourth-quarter comeback to beat Cincy 24-23. It began a 15-year bromance with the state of Wisconsin and cheeseheads worldwide. Meanwhile, I'm in the Lambeau Field parking lot, where I've enjoyed every home game since I was knee-high to a Milwaukee's best cowboy. This is where the tale takes a twist. Mikowski's out, the pack is in jeopardy, and I'm out of beer. Lucky for me, Lou Three Fingers Nelson, who did a stretch in Joliet, always had a fresh batch of toilet wine brewing in his mini Winnie. I was 6 cups in and barely coherent when Favre threw that TD to Kendrick Taylor for the win. God bless Favre, and God bless Three Fingers toilet wine.
Favre put it right on a line. A perfect pass, a perfect catch by Kendrick Taylor.
To West Salem, Drew Kelly, Hunter Bamgradt live with you here tonight, 2:40, as we just had the kickoff for Tomah as they took it out. It was a short kick out to their own 43-yard line, so good field position for the Timberwolves for their second possession, needing an answer after a really impressive West Salem drive on their opening possession. And Gerke comes under center with receivers split to each side and split backs in the backfield as well. Here's the out pattern to Williams. Xander Williams is spun down there at about the 49-yard line. That was the out pattern they tried on the other side in the first possession, that time right on the money for a gain of 8.
Yeah, I think that first drive they couldn't really get into a great rhythm. It was kind of 2 steps forward, 1 step back, and I think this drive they're going to try to clean some of those things up, and that pass kind of a symbol of that.
2nd down and 2:15 to go, and counting here in the first quarter. Drew Kelly, Hunter Bamgradt, Granville's back to the studio. Tyler Woodward on site for video and audio tech support. Here is the handoff up the middle. Nowhere going. They tried Luke, and Luke is spun back. I think they're going to give him basically the line of scrimmage, essentially, or maybe he lost a half yard back to about the 49.5. It's going to be 3rd down and 3. So after that methodical drive of which Luke was able to pick up 5 or 6 yards a chunk, West Salem's interior trying to really stone him back these last few plays.
Absolutely, and now, this is probably 2-down territory once again, but Tomah also just saw what West Salem did after they gave him a short field. They went right down and scored. So I don't know if Tomah's going to be as apt to go for it, especially if they take a sack or something or lose yardage on this play.
Basically to the 49-yard line of West Salem, 3rd down and 2, and here is the quick pass, and it's going to be caught this time. Nice out pattern, and it's going to be inside the 40 all the way down to the 36-yard line as the soft coverage gives number 27, Luke Beckendahl, quite a bit of room to run after the catch, and it's a 1st and 10 for Tomah.
Yeah, that was a nice play call. Just going out to the right side there, like you said, and get some soft coverage, and was able to. He leads the team with Beckendahl leads the team with receiving yards, 182 coming into the game. Obviously, he has more now, but a nice play call, and Tomah moving the ball again. This is where their drive stalled with that first possession. So the 36-yard line.
2 receivers split to each side. Shotgun formation. Luke to Gerke's left, and here is a lot of good protection in the backfield. It's going to be almost intercepted, a miscommunication. I think he thought that Beckendahl was going to come back to the football, and almost getting the pick that time was Jack Healy. It's going to be 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, that was close. That was a dangerous miscommunication because Healy came back to 0-4, just couldn't trap it underneath. Referee was right on it, made the right call, and Tomah kind of gets a second chance here. It looks like Tomah, they've passed, 3 out of 4 plays here, and so they're kind of going to the air more than they were on that first drive.
2nd down and 10, 2 receivers out to the right side and 2 to the left. Shotgun formation for Gerke as he goes straight back in the pocket. Blitz from the left side. This time he's hit as he throws, and it's going to be wayward a little bit over the head of his intended receiver, Beckendahl. Brings down 3rd down and 10. And West Salem has done a great job these first 2 games getting pressure on the quarterback.
They did it. They forced turnovers last week off of Aiden Larson of Alaska. And now this week they are getting pressure and they are forcing throws early. And you've seen 3 or 4 times now where Gerke's overthrown his wide receivers. A couple of them because the wide receiver fell down or were held, but a couple of other ones just plain he had to rush it, and so he kind of guessed where his wide receiver would be. So West Salem's, the penetration they're getting up front is really, really good.
3rd down and 10, 39 seconds left here in this opening quarter. It's 7-0. Panthers on top of the Timberwolves of Tomah. 2 receivers to each side. Straight back in the pocket. Pressure again. Gerke hits another hit. He's going to go over the top to Xander Williams. It's going to be incomplete. He's got that height advantage, man, on every single play. That time he couldn't bring it down. Pretty good coverage, though, on the back end by Noah LaFleur.
Yeah, something Gerke's done the last couple of plays is if there's pressure, chucks it up and then hopes his wide receiver can come down with it. And to be honest, if you have a tall receiver like that, right, you definitely can, and you definitely can come down with it, but those can also get intercepted, and we almost saw that on the 4th down play near the goal line.
4th down and 10 at the 36-yard line of West Salem. As Hunter said, this is where the first drive stalled out. We'll see if they can pick it up here on this 4th down. 1st and 10, 2 receivers to each side. And Gerke feels pressure again, has to throw it to the left side. It's a floater, intercepted by West Salem, going down the far sideline with a convoy in front of them. And they finally wrap up the interception player in the secondary all the way down to the 34-yard line. There is a flag, but that was a fantastic read on the ball. And pressure on the quarterback. Led to, looked like Adam Gorski with the interception. A great job by him coming back to the football. And a big-time interception by West Salem. And they've got their offense back on the field already.
Yeah, legal block in the back on West Salem on the return, so they won't negate the interception. They'll just bring it back a little bit. But, man, that was another example of it where Gerke, he gets pressure and he just throws it up into the air. And, that, like I said, that's going to cost you eventually because the ball's going to be floating up there and a defender's going to be able to see it. And that was nowhere near a Timberwolf, way more closer to a Panther. And that is a very nice interception. And now West Salem takes over with great field position at the 44 of Tomah.
Once again, Adam Gorski, the senior, with the interception, and the Panthers take over at the Tomah 44-yard line. 22 seconds remaining. West Salem looking for some more points. 2 receivers out to each side. Here's the snap. It's going to be to McConkey. McConkey on a quick comeback pattern. It's Healy again, and he's going to pick up about 6 or 7 his first catch. It's going to be 2nd down and about 4 down to the 39-yard line.
And that will probably end our first quarter. That was a nice little curl route in West Salem. Once again, first play of this drive showing great promise on the offensive side so far tonight.
That will be the end of the first quarter. It's 7-0 West Salem. Number 2, as we will go to quarter number 2. 60-second break. We're back after this. This is a high school football game of the week right here on WKTY.
If you're a sports fan, you WKTY.
My last year in college, we had a TV station. Some guys I knew were the sportscasters on the Southern Illinois University campus TV station. They were basically modeling themselves after you guys.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, everything was not boom goes the dynamite, but they were trying to come up with something like sit right here and sit down. You know, when someone would get struck out.
Yeah, we're given a lot of credit, but then we deserve a lot of blame.
A lot of people model.
Every sportscaster or every wannabe felt like, hey, I got a great catchphrase. And I said, well, do you know sports? Can you write? How do you look? How do you sound? And then they look at you like you're crazy. No, I got a catchphrase. Cowhide, joyride. I went, all righty. You could probably be on ESPN News, maybe not on SportsCenter, right?
Don't miss the Dan Patrick Show. Weekday mornings 9 to 11 on WKTY, 96.7 FM, 580 AM.
Welcome back to West Salem, 7-0. The Panthers on top of Tomah Timberwolves. It's 3 receivers out to the right side and 1 to the left as we start the second quarter. It's going to be 2nd and 4 at the 38-yard line of Tomah. And once again, McConkey in the shotgun formation sends Justin Barney out to the left side. So now we've got a penalty flag, and it's going to be a false start. So obviously the line judge saw something, and it's going to push him back towards the original line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 9 upcoming, but with the way that West Salem is moving the football, I don't think it's going to matter a whole lot.
Yeah, exactly. They've been able to get 5-6 yards every before the quarter break. This is a great opportunity for West Salem with great field position, and the West Salem Panthers impressive so far in that first quarter, and we'll see if they can continue it, or Tomah, if they can maybe get the defense going a little bit better.
2nd down and 10 upcoming. 2 receivers out to the right side and 2 to the left. Shotgun formation for McConkey. McConkey straight back in the pocket. Good protection there. An out pass to Barney. Barney gets the catch and gets the first down and takes a few defenders with him down to the Tomah 31-yard line. Pickup of 12 on the play. Moves the chains. And the Panthers are back close to the red zone again.
Yeah, the wide receivers for West Salem are getting so much space. Just separation is the best word for it. Getting separation from the corners and being able to make plays after the catch as well, and that's just hurting Tomah because they're not covering super well. And then once they get the ball, they're able to break a couple of tackles, and by that time they've got gains of 10, 11 yards.
3 receivers out to the right side, 1 to the left. Here is the handoff to Dumars. Dumars tries the left side, is finally ridden out of bounds by a couple of Timberwolves. Only 1 blocker there on the wide receiver on that side of the field. Just tried to fool the defense of Tomah. They did a pretty good job of sniffing it out. It's going to be 2nd down and about 6 at the 27-yard line.
4, 2nd down 6.
Yeah, West Salem, there you go, 4 more yards. It's Tomah's been only stopped West Salem, less than a couple of yards, maybe 1-2 times so far. West Salem kind of having their way on the offensive side.
3 receivers set, 3 right, 1 left, so a 4 receiver set. Now miscommunication in the backfield as McConkey is going to get taken down in the backfield. Didn't actually hit the ground, but basically just got tied up, and his forward progress was finally stopped. It's a 5-yard loss. Just miscommunication on whether the running back was going to take the ball or if it was going to be a pass.
Yeah, exactly. And so then McConkey had it, and he had nowhere to go. Tomah defensive line was right there in the backfield to meet him. So now it's a 3rd and long play here, and Tomah, maybe that'll give them some momentum, especially if they can stop him here. But I would assume this is probably 2-down territory unless a massive sack happens.
3 receivers set out to the right side and 1 to the left. Shotgun formation. McConkey, quick pass. Caught on the play by Chris Calico. Calico takes his blockers and gets close to another first down. We'll see how close it is. It's going to be obviously within range to go for it.
Yeah.
A nice quick pass out to the flat there, and Calico did a nice job after the catch. He picks up about 9, so it'll bring up 4th down and 2 at the 24-yard line. 9:50 to go in the first half. Just flying through this first half here from West Salem tonight. So glad you can tune in here on WKTY 96.7 FM and 580 AM. And we've got to think about it before they get this 4th down play. We'll take 30 seconds and we're back after this. You're listening to the high school football game of the week on WKTY.
down the right sidelines. MVS has it to the end zone for the touchdown.
Hey, lacrosse, nobody talks more Packers football than me. Don't miss the Bill Michaels Show every day, 11 to 2, right here on WKTY. We're going to cover every game, hear from the coaches and the players, and get the inside scoop from the best reporters and experts. That's the Bill Michaels Show, talking Packers football all season long. Right here on Western Wisconsin Sports Talk leader, WKTY.
Oh, what a play!
Back here at West Salem High School, it's 7-0. A big fourth down here for the Panthers, Hunter, as momentum is big in obviously this early part of the game as West Salem looks to get up by 2 touchdowns. Tomah, it's been really going away from them the last few drives for them after they had that long drive that finally stalled. They got to get a stop here.
Yeah, Tomah, big opportunity for them on the defensive side here, trying to get each other some fired up. The corners were clapping at each other. I think they want to get a stop here. They're trying to get set. Now they are.
2 receivers out to each side. Here is the draw play, and it's going to be a keeper by McConkey. McConkey gets down to the 29-yard line. They get the 19-yard line, and he is driven back, but that's well more than enough for a first down. I think they were trying for an option play. If the lane wasn't there, he was going to pitch it to his running back, but it was, and he picks up about 5.
Yeah, and those option plays keeps the defense guessing like all the way until past the line of scrimmage, because the defenders aren't. When those quarterbacks are taking it, they're like, they're going to pass it. They're going to give it to their running back. Ends up not. McConkey gets a nice gain.
1st and 10. Here's the handoff to Dumars. This time he is stoned at the line of scrimmage. Good tackle there. Coming up to make the stop from the secondary was John Carmichael, the defensive back, and it's going to be 2nd down and 10.
Carmichael, yeah.
Dumars finally stopped for a minimal gain.
Yeah, I was going to say that's one of the rare times that West Salem has not gained when they run that they don't get more than 3-4 yards. That time, hardly a gain at all, and so maybe Tomah can take some of that momentum from that play and carry it forward.
1 receiver out to the right side, that's Jack Healy, and 3 receivers out to the left for West Salem. This might be a little screen pass. Nope, they're going to go to Healy, and that's a miscommunication. Healy going as a slant pattern, and McConkey going on an out pattern. It's going to be 3rd down and 10.
If I'm not mistaken, that hit a Timberwolves kind of right in the hands there. That was very close to an interception, and so kind of with those miscommunication plays, we've seen it before where it ends badly for the offensive side. Yep. That time, lucky it wasn't intercepted. Now a 3rd and long play for West Salem. Tomah, a couple of good defensive plays here. Let's see if they continue that.
1 receiver out to the right side and 3 to the left. Might be in field goal range. We'll see what this 3rd down entails. It's a little pitch play out to Dumars. Dumars trying to read his blocks. He's got nowhere to go. Coming in there for the stop, a big-time tackle there, sweeping through the defenders to get it into the backfield. Number 20, Evan Westfall, dumps him for a loss of 2. And it's 4th down and 11 at the 21-yard line. And so now you're kind of in a 4-down territory situation here, I think, Hunter.
I think so, too. Westfall, the 5'10 senior. Beautiful open field tackle there. Yep. Just completely, no one around. Had to make the play on his own, and he did. Now big 4th down here for the Tomah defense. Down 1 score. You got to keep it that way if you're Tomah, with under 8 to go in the first half.
2 receivers out to each side. Shotgun formation with Dumars to McConkey's right. Play action fake. McConkey going deep down the right sideline, and he's got Healy open, but he overshot him by about 3 yards. McConkey's got a little bit of an arm on him as well, so that's something we can look out for later on. There's a holding penalty anyway, which would have wiped out a would-be touchdown had they been able to catch it. But as it stands, it's going to be a turnover on downs. Tomah will decline the holding penalty, and that's a big-time stop for the Timberwolves. They get it back to their offense, and now you kind of see that ground and pound, I think, with after your first couple of drives with passing really wasn't very effective.
Yeah, exactly. And so we'll kind of see what Tomah decides to do. But yeah, West Salem there, that was interesting. They got down to that 19-yard line after that 4th down conversion. They went 4 plays without gaining a yard. And so that was impressive by the Tomah defense. We'll see if that kind of carries some momentum over to the offensive side.
7:45 to go here in the first half. Drew Kelly, Hunter Bamgradt live with you here tonight. 1 receiver out to each side. Split backs to the backfield with Justin Gerke under center. Now Cade Janivico goes in motion. Now two receivers out to the left side. It's going to be a handoff up the middle, and that's Luke who gets about a yard or two. Call it a yard, 2nd down and 9. And after that first drive where it was 5 or 6 yards continuously, the defensive line for West Salem has really been pretty stout.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, we said that, Tomah hadn't had a ton of success with passing the ball. Well, if they can't get the running game going, they're going to be kind of forced to pass with Gerke. And Gerke's a senior, so he knows what he's doing. But, man, we'll see how that goes.
2nd down and 7, incomplete. Janivico, trouble hanging on to that one on the out pattern. It's going to be 3rd down and 7. 7:11 to go here in the opening half from West Salem. Panthers 0-1 on the season. Timberwolves 1-1 after a big come-from-behind win over Reedsburg last week. Obviously, both teams losing to Onalaska for their lone losses of the season. And we'll see on this 3rd down and 7. We've also got Aquinas coming in here next week. We'll be broadcasting that game here from West Salem if it occurs. Two receivers out to each side. Shotgun formation for Gerke. Well, it looks like Westfall in the backfield, and it's going to be pressure up the middle, and it's going to be intercepted again. 2nd interception of the game, and this time West Salem with a nice return all the way down to the 10-yard line. Zach Hutchinson just basically got it thrown right to him in the middle of the field, and a 1st and goal opportunity for the Panthers.
Yeah, literally just
and a late flag. Didn't mean to interrupt you, Hunter.
No
I think
problem.
we had some sort of confrontation. Unsportsmanlike conduct at the end of the play. West Salem fired up. But what'd you see on that pass pattern?
Yeah, it was just right over the middle, and it was one of those things where you had a bunch of Tomah Timberwolves, a bunch of West Salem Panthers, and West Salem Panthers came out of there with it, and a nice return as well to get it inside the 10, and now they're going to give them, I think, half the distance to the goal in the unsportsmanlike conduct. So West Salem right on the doorstep, and that's big for Gerke because, he's had kind of a rough night throwing the football so far. His 2nd pick in just not even a quarter and a half. So he's obviously on the sideline going to kind of reset and see if he can come back and be better on the next drive, which probably will be sooner rather than later with West Salem at the 5-yard line.
7:01 to go. You see Gerke over there kind of by the sideline. Everybody kind of keeping away. He's got to get his he's got to get his faculties in order. Two receivers out to the right side. Pistol formation to the backfield is going to be a handoff this time to Noel. Noel plunges in, and he's close to. That's going to bring up 2nd down and goal. So Noel brings them closer to 13-0. 6:45 to go in the first half.
Yeah, another gain of 4 yards for one, and I'd be shocked if they weren't able to score here on this play.
This time it's Noel again, and they'll hand it off again, and he jumps over the pile, and he gets in for the touchdown. Luke Noel, the 2nd Panther to score a touchdown here tonight. Dumars with the first. Luke Noel, the first 1-yard touchdown run here with 6:30 to go in the first half, and it's 13-0 West Salem. And they look a lot sharper offensively than they did against Onalaska.
They do, absolutely they do. And Tomah's defense not as good as Onalaska's defense, but still the sharpness of which West Salem has been both running and passing the football has been impressive so far.
Joseph Daly to kick the extra point here. Here's the hold, the snap, the kick up, and it is right through. Nice driving kick there by Daly, and it's 14-0 with 6:30 to go here in the opening half. We're back in 60 seconds. You're listening to the high school football game of the week right here on WKTY.
I'm Dave Carney, host of the WKTY Morning Show, Monday through Friday from 6 to 9 a.m. on WKTY, on the WKTY app, and heck, streaming worldwide at WKTYsports.com. What is the WKTY Morning Show? Well, it's a dose of sports. We'll talk more Green Bay Packer football and Milwaukee Brewer baseball throughout the morning, that is for sure. Joe DeGuano, our Green and Gold Insider, is going to jump aboard at 7:15. We'll have G. Bills at 8:20, so plenty of Brewers and plenty of Packers still to come this morning. It's a bit of music. Guitar Slayers coming up this morning. Stevie Ray Vaughan, Jimi Hendrix, ZZ Top, Eric Clapton, just to name a few. We tried to have a lot of fun. Yeah, I didn't have time to pull up my Big Lebowski sounder. You need a tow? I can get you a tow by 2 o'clock. You need a tow? Hey,
I'm not that good.
If you're a sports fan, if you're a comedy fan, hey, if you're a music fan, you're going to find yourself in a good spot on the WKTY Morning Show with me, Dave Carney.
Back here at West Salem, it's 14-0 as Brett McConkey will kick off, and it's going to be a line drive punt, or a kick rather, that is finally picked up after it hits a West Salem return, Tomah return man, and all the way out across the 30 to 31 yard line. Big time return. But it was Sebastian Wilbanks who was able to pick it up and bring it out to the 30-yard line of Tomah. And once again, the Tomah offense will add moving the football on this possession.
And what it's been for Tomah is that stall on fourth down. Then it was 2 interceptions, one leading to a West Salem touchdown, and another leading to a West Salem touchdown. So, it's going to be interesting to see if they go more run, because Gerke's kind of struggled throwing the ball, or if they continue to get Gerke trying to get him in a rhythm.
1st and 10, one receiver out to the right side, 2 to the left, split backs in the backfield. Geneva goes in motion from right to left. They hand it off to Luke up the middle. First man through, and he plows ahead back to about the line of scrimmage. And it's going to be 2nd down, maybe in 9. I think they gave him 1. Once again, West Salem up to this challenge.
Yeah, exactly. West Salem was impressive on the defensive side last week against Onalaska, and I think against a little bit of an inferior offense in Tomah this week, they are really showing that they are a very good defense. I mean, this has been impressive for a quarter and a half. Of course, plenty of game left, but man, they've covered well. They've rushed the quarterback and gotten pressure, and they've stopped the run.
2 receivers to the left side, 1 to the right. It's a counter play this time to Westfall. Westfall gets a decent hole up the middle between left guard and center, and he's thrown back after a gain of about 6. And he's out to the 36-yard line. 3rd down and 3 upcoming.
When Tomah has gotten their big gains so far in the running game, it's been those counter plays, and they've been able to kind of, get people in the backfield and then slowly give it to their running back, and makes a couple of men miss and gets 7 yards. So now Tomah in a 3rd and manageable, and they've got to convert a couple of these on this drive in order to sustain it and maybe take some time off the clock and be down by a touchdown at halftime.
2 receivers out to the right side and 1 to the left. Actually, 1 to each side. Split backs to the backfield as well. Gerke under center this time. He's going to go back to pass, and he's going to float it incomplete. Think it might have been partially tipped there at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 4th down and 3.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that would have been probably a more accurate throw had it not been tipped, but it sailed out of bounds. And now Tomah, they've got a big decision to make here. I think they are.
Looks like they're punting it.
Yeah, I think they're going to punt it. They've shown that we don't want to give.
It's 36-yard line. I think, if nothing else, the way the short fields that they've given West Salem the last couple of possessions, I think they're like, all right, well, you're going to have to earn it this time.
Exactly.
And push it down the field even more. So it's going to be a punt here for the Timberwolves as Drew Brookman will punt this one away. Jack Healy back to receive, and it's going to be a high snap. Healy will take it, and he breaks the tackle, gets out to the 45, and now cuts it back upfield, and now he fumbles the football, and stripping it out of his hands and getting the turnover that the Timberwolves need is 54, Logan Radick, the 5'9", 185-pound senior linebacker, and that gets the Timberwolves right back in business.
Yeah, just a massive turnover that Tomah needed there. West Salem, if they go down and score in that possession, is up 3 possessions, but instead they get the turnover, and Tomah takes over inside West Salem territory, inside the 45-yard line.
It'll be 1st and 10 at the 42, so big turnover forced there by the Timberwolves after they give it away a couple of times. And now we've got a whistle and a timeout by head coach Justin Yen, and it's their 2nd timeout. They'll have 1 left with 4:47 to go until halftime. We're going to take a 60-second break, and we're back after this. You're listening on WKTY.
Instead of just creating ads, we create strategies.
We don't simply want to put your business on the radio.
My job consists of being a consultant.
Every plan that we build is customized specifically for you. And that's across all platforms, including social and digital media, website design, and running radio ads.
It's taking all those different pieces and then putting them together into a comprehensive plan.
We want to discuss how we can help your business grow. We want to discuss your business.
There's nothing more important to us than our advertisers' success. And that's why it is so awesome to have these great success stories. Just call one of our current clients and ask.
Systematic solution for measurable marketing results. Midwest Family. Midwest Family.
West Salem, Drew Kelly, Hunter Bamgradt live with you here tonight as Luke Westfall gets the carry. It's dumped in the backfield one of the few times. Then West Salem's had success in stopping Westfall here tonight. It's going to be 2nd down and 12 at the 44-yard line.
Yeah, like you said, Westfall's had, kind of the rare success of Tomah's offense tonight, but that one stopped, and West Salem looking to get another stop on the defensive side.
Split receivers right and left. 2 backs to the backfield as well. Gerke under center. And he will hand it off, a quick hitter to Luke. And Luke, best run of the game pretty much since that first drive, and maybe the best run, period, as he surprised the offense going straight through the line. It's going to be 3rd down and about 4.
Yeah, just gave it to the first opportunity to get the ball and went up about 8 yards. Tomah probably in no rush on this drive to not want to give West Salem too much time before halftime. I'm sure they'd be satisfied to go down just a touchdown at halftime.
So we got 2 receivers out to the left side and 1 to the right. Xander Williams, the receiver, out to the right side. Split backs to the backfield. Gerke under center. And it's going to be a counter play. And there was nowhere to go for Westfall. Getting in there for the stop, reading it from the beginning from his outside linebacker position was C.J. McConkey. And he was just a force on defense on that play.
Absolutely, and something Westfall has done a couple of times is try to reach the ball out at the end of a run, and he's got to be careful. Just don't want to reach out too far. That's how fumbles can occur. But yeah, another big stop by West Salem, and now you've got a 4th down.
Yep.
And a big one.
4th down and 6 at the 38-yard line after a turnover on West Salem's punt return gave Tomah this opportunity. Here's Gerke, pressure immediately. They throw it out to the outside. It's going to be Westfall as he breaks a tackle and is finally wrapped up at about the 32-yard line. Man, he's going to be close to that marker. I thought he had it fairly easily, but looking at it now, I'm not sure. They might have to bring in the chain gain for this one.
They might. They measured one earlier and gave a 1st down to Tomah on the long drive.
Yep.
But one of the coaches yelling, Tomah, you're going to need to start blocking out there. So clearly they want better blocking, but we are going to see if they bring the chain gain out here. There might be a disagreement as well as to where this ball was marked. Mm-hmm. As the refs converse.
Yep, they're going to bring chains over to the complete opposite side of the field.
Some coaches wondering why they moved the ball all the way to the middle of the field and then moved it all the way back to the far side. I don't know if that makes sense why they did that, but Here we go. Measurements coming, and this is big if Tomah can convert here.
It is. 4th down and 6 was the down and distance. It was a nice wing pass. Gerke was pressured immediately, and it is a 1st down. So the Timberwolves able to move the chains, so we didn't see how close it was. I'm guessing inches. If they brought him all the way to the other side of the field, it was that close, and a good job there by Tomah to pick that up, and gives them new signs of life.
It absolutely does, and with 2:37 left in the first half, if you can go down and score here, that's going to be you're going to be in a very good spot heading into halftime, considering you've thrown a couple of interceptions and had to punt on a drive as well. So you're going to be in a nice spot, and Tomah trying to take advantage of that turnover they caused when they forced Healy to fumble the football in that punt return.
1 receiver split to each side, 2 backs to the backfield as well. Gerke under center, and he will hand it off to Luke this time. Big hole right side of the line. And it closes just about as quickly as it opened. Gain of about 3 on the play. 2nd down and 7.
Yeah, like you said it closes. It was a wide open hole on that right side, but then quickly the Panthers swarmed to the football, and they've been doing well at that tonight. Not a lot of yards after contact for the running backs or the wide receivers. As soon as those running backs get hit, seems like they go right down. On the opposite side, West Salem's been able to break a fair amount of tackles from the Tomah defense.
Saw that pretty much the same story against Onalaska, other than that Albert Romero run where he basically ran over 7 players. You know, they were pretty good at tackling at the point of contact. And here is pressure immediately. Gerke is going to get sacked on the play. Back to the original line of scrimmage. Honestly, a smart play, not to fire one deep over the middle again, and he just ate it for the sack.
Yeah, that almost looked like a screen gone wrong, how fast those defenders were right in Gerke's face. And Gerke's not the fastest in doing the drop back, I've noticed, because, you know, they get in there real fast. And so he takes the ball, takes that extra second, and by that time he's got pressure in his face. So by the time he gets back to his drop, you know, his drop back, he's not able to see his wide receivers, and all of a sudden he's got Panthers all over him.
3rd down and 10. Might be 2-down territory here as well. 1 receiver out to each side. Tight end lined up right side. 2 backs in the backfield with Gerke behind him. And here is the pitch play to Geneva. They're going to go to the wide receiver pass as they get a wide open number 17, Xander Williams, for a touchdown. That is a play call we can expect to see, I think, more of as they try to continue to get these Panthers off the throats of their offensive line. And that's a big-time throw and catch. Jade Kanivico to Xander Williams for the big-time 32-yard score.
Wide receiver down the field, and just a perfect throw, like you said. And he was able to kind of sit and wait to catch it because there weren't many defenders around him, and still get into the end zone while getting tackled. Perfect time for a trickery play call. Hadn't really gone to that at all earlier.
Geneva will be the kicker, and his kick is straight through. Nice leg there by Cade Geneva. And just like that, the Tomah Timberwolves right back in the game. Just 50 seconds remaining in the first half. We're going to take a 30-second break this time and be back right after this. This is the high school TY.
In sports, lots of things are memorable. Few things, however, turn into outright classics. WKTY is reliving some of the most memorable and downright classic moments in sports history with a weekly feature, the WKTY Classic Sports Moment, online at WKTYSports.com. Packers, Brewers, Badgers, Bucks, and other classic sports moments can be found each and every week with video and audio online at WKTYSports.com.
Back here in West Salem, Drew Kelly on for Bamgradt, live with you here tonight. It's 14-7. Tomah with a big answer there for the touchdown. And now not a whole lot of time for the West Salem Panthers to answer, but they do have one timeout in their back pocket. A beautiful 32-yard pass from Cade Geneva as he went across the formation on a jet sweep. Found a wide open Xander Williams in the corner of the end zone for the touchdown. And now it's going to be a kickoff by Tomah. And it looks like number 54, Logan Radek. I'm sorry, number 24. That's Joe Venner, who will be the kicker. And they all get into their stance and get set to go. It's a line drive kick taken by an up man. And that's McConkey. McConkey sprints to the outside, gets across the 40, spins his way across the 40 to the 43-yard line. That was an impressive return by the linebacker / fullback. And it's 1st down and 10 for the Panthers.
Yeah, that was, you said it, that was impressive by the quarterback's brother. And West Salem now takes over with great field position. 43 seconds left.
Yeah, that changes.
One timeout.
Yeah.
And McConkey's done an impressive job tonight throwing the football and also just running this offense. And so you've got a shot here to really get some points here before the end of the half.
The conversation is totally different from like the 20-yard line to the 43-yard line,
exactly.
Especially with 43 seconds to go. You gotta, and we saw that McConkey does have an arm on him. We'll see if they take another deep shot to Jack Healy here in this sequence of plays. 3 receivers out to the left side. Healy alone on the right. Shotgun formation. McConkey straight back in the pocket. Feels some pressure. Gets hit as he throws. Beautiful throw to Healy. Healy breaks the tackle, and he steps out of bounds at the Tomah 41-yard line. So a nice job by McConkey to stand in there, take the hit, still deliver a strike.
Yeah, for a guy who's first time starting quarterback this season. Not sure. Did he start last year?
Nope.
I don't think so. Yeah, so first time and just taking a hit, but firing a strike to Healy. That was an impressive play by McConkey.
37 seconds to go. biggest thing, he gets out of bounds, so it saves that timeout as well. With McConkey. It's going to be another comeback route, and that was a little too hot to handle as Healy barely got his hands up. I think he slipped on the comeback route. It's going to be second down at 10.
McConkey sure has an arm there, and he put all of his strength behind that throw. And like you said, a little too hot to handle, and also the slipping didn't help. So now you got second down. You got 33 seconds left. So these first couple of plays have only taken, 10 seconds.
Yep.
And West Salem with an opportunity, and Tomah, obviously, they're like, okay, we go down 7 at halftime, we're going to be okay. A big score at the end of this half would be kind of demoralizing if you're the Tomah Timberwolves.
33 seconds to go. One receiver out to the right side. Make it two receivers out to each side. And shotgun formation to the backfield. Knoll, the running back with McConkey, the quarterback. And I think they got him to jump with the Aaron Rodgers-esque hard count. And it's going to be second down and 5, and that changes the play call a little bit for the West Salem Panthers as well.
It definitely does, and you might be more apt to run it. You got one timeout. I would say, though, you're still 36 yards out from the end zone, so I think you're still going to be more pass than run here for the rest of this drive. As we now... Yeah, one timeout. Okay, I was looking at the scoreboard and thought I misread something, but one timeout for West Salem, so I'm guessing a fair dose of passing still to go on this drive.
Two receivers to each side, and here is the play-action fake. Here's the screen pass out to Healy. Healy breaks the tackle. There's flags all over the place, and he's inside the 20 down to the 15, but this one's coming back.
Yeah, you could hear the Tomah coaches above us in the press box saying that's a block in the back, and I think that's what's going to be the call here, and it will be.
So legal block in the back with 23 seconds to go. Still have time to take a couple of shots here and see where you end up, and you still, like we said, have that one timeout in your back pocket, but obviously that's kind of a drive killer right there. When you had the momentum, you started in great field position at your own 43-yard line, and it was a well-designed play.
It was.
Just unfortunately, it was kind of needed, I think, those blocks in the back. Receivers just weren't in position to legally block there, and that brings it back to about second down and 13 at the Tomah 45-yard line with 23 ticks on the clock.
Yeah, I don't think that play goes all the way inside the 20 if we don't get that illegal block in the back.
Two receivers right and two left. Shotgun formation. McConkey straight back in the pocket. Fires to the left side, right side rather. And Barney gets wrapped up in field. A great job tackling that time by number 5. That's Ethan McClurg. And he basically saved the Timberwolves there's some time as he forces Coach Yen to use his third and final timeout as they have it 3rd and 10 at the Panther 41-yard line.
Yeah, nice open field tackle there, and we've seen a couple of times of that tonight by both sides. So great open field tackling when you have nobody else around you to kind of pick up the slack there, and you get someone in space. You're able to make and plus as a corner there, you make up for probably what was kind of a blown coverage because Barney had a nice chunk of space there between him and the defender, had some separation. So you can make up for that if you get an open field tackle. If you don't, then the fault comes back to you for both a missed tackle and a blown coverage.
14 seconds to go as we've got the last time out by West Salem here. I want to thank all of our sponsors from the WKTY Sportscaster Club, Firefighters Credit Union, Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning, Fossum Funeral Home, Kratt Lumber, Mr. Electric, Schumacher Kish Funeral Home, Wafer, Bagnevsky Heating and Air Conditioning, Tossford and Temp, Tiller Furniture, 5-Star Telecom, Ace of Lacrosse, and Dark Fox Enterprises. All fine sponsors of the WKTY Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning Sportscaster Club. So we've got the down and 10. 5 receivers on the field, 3 of them bunched out to the left side and 2 to the right. Coach Yen telling them to spread out a little bit more as Yelly goes to the far sideline. And here is the pressure immediately by McConkey. He gets out of a sack, fires on a comeback route, incomplete. Had Healy coming back to it, a good throw right on Healy's hands, just unable to come down with it. It's going to be 4th down and 10 with 7 seconds to go. And I would say you might as well go for it here. By the time that it's going to take to get all your receivers down, it's probably going to be 0 on the clock, although we saw in Alaska, the kick at the end of the half.
Yeah.
that took 2.9 seconds, which actually took 10 in real life. So we'll see what the clock situation is here in West Salem. I think this is just an all-out verticals play here with all your receivers going to the end zone.
I think so. McConkey got Tomah to jump earlier like Aaron Rodgers. Can he complete a Hail Mary like Aaron Rodgers? Here we go.
4th down and 10, 7 seconds to go. Here it is, McConkey. They feel pressure. He steps up, escapes the sack, and now he's going to run for it. Needs some blockers. He's got his offensive lineman trying, and he's finally going to get wrapped up at about the 24-yard line. So a 17-yard gain there on 4th and 10. But basically it was 41 yards away from where he needed to be. And it's going to be the end of the first half. So in what times seemed like a dominating performance by West Salem, ends up in a 14-7 game here at the halftime break. Anybody's contest. West Salem gets the ball to start the second stanza, and we will be back right after this. You're listening to the high school football game of the week right here on WKTY.
What's happening in your community? Here are some items from our calendar to put on your calendar. The La Crosse Parks and Rec Department and Onalaska JCs are teaming up for the Pettibone Haunted Mile on October 24th at Pettibone Park. The rain date is October 31st. Created out of an abundant caution, this event takes the place of each organization's usual Halloween events, such as the Field of Screams and the JC's Haunted House. The Haunted Mile is a free drive-through event with spooky sets and scenes. From 5 to 7 o'clock, enjoy light scares, with 7 to 9 o'clock as heavy scares. At the end of the event, participants get pre-bagged candy. Although this is a free event, they do encourage people to bring a non-perishable food item for donation to local food pantries. If you have an item for our community calendar, please send it at least 2 weeks in advance to 201 State Street, La Crosse, Wisconsin, 54601, or email events@MidwestFamilyLacrosse.com.
Hi, I'm Chip Johnson, All-American quarterback. When I'm not driving my sports car or picking up fine young ladies, I'm playing with balls. Basketballs, baseballs, golf balls, tennis balls, and of course, footballs. And the only place to get good balls is at Copeland Sports. When you have handled as many balls as I have, you realize you need the best equipment and apparel to go with it. And starting this Saturday, it's the winter blowout for 4 days. Experience prices so hot we moved it outside to a giant tent. With great deals on snowboards, skis, ski bindings, sleds, coats, hats, and of course, balls. Because remember, at Copeland Sports, we've got balls.
The WKTY Sportscasters Club, proudly supported and sponsored by Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning, has given away over $100,000 to some of the top student athletes in the area. Students from schools like La Crosse Central, La Crosse Logan, Holman, Onalaska, and others. Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning, we thank you and all of our Sportscaster Club members for helping us help the area's youth as they continue on their academic and their athletic endeavors. Hey, it's Dave, host of the WKTY Morning Show. Hope you are enjoying a very good Friday and a wonderful weekend. Friday, don't forget, high school football is on WKTY. Drew Kelly, Hunter Bumbart bring you West Salem versus Tomah. Sunday, the Green Bay Packers take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers meet for just the 3rd time in their respective careers. On Monday, we'll break down all of the fun from over the weekend. We'll talk to Joe DeGuano and Grant Bills, host of the Wisco Sports Show. Have a great one. See you bright and early, 6 o'clock on Monday.
Back here at West Salem High School, Drew Kelly, Hunter Bamgradt, Tyler Woodward live with you here tonight as we've got the halftime score of 14-7. The West Salem Panthers currently with the lead, and before we get to the scoring summary, Hunter, your initial thoughts of that first half, which we thought might be turning into a rout early in the first quarter there, and a nice job by Tomah to really stem the tide.
Yeah, that was a huge turnover that they forced. They had to punt it after deciding not to go for it. Their own 36. They punted away, and Healy returning the football and got hit, and the ball came out and recovered by Tomah. And then a big 3rd down in which they went with the screen, the double pass, basically, where they went to the wide receiver. What was it? It was Geneva
to Xander Williams.
To Xander Williams for the touchdown and a big 32-yard pass play there that got them on the board. board and got them in some momentum here, because now it's 14-7. They were able to stop West Salem on their final drive. McConkey ran it, but not far enough to get into the end zone. And so now Tomah can bring some of what they did on, they haven't had a ton of success on the offensive side. They just haven't. Even, on that touchdown drive, really, they didn't go anywhere except for that big 32-yard pass play. So I wouldn't be surprised if they try to do some creative things on the offensive side, in this second half, because they're gonna need to do something, a little different than what they've been trying in that first half.
And let's go to that scoring summary, Hunter, as we had 3 touchdowns, and it was West Salem who had a big strike early and going right down the field on their opening drive.
Yeah, Dumars with the touchdown with 2:45 to go in the first quarter after, you said it, just a methodical drive that didn't take very long. In fact, just took about 3 minutes off the clock after Tomah had taken about 6.5 minutes, but didn't even come out with any score they came out without scoring. And so Dumars went down with a touchdown, and then Niemeyer came up with an interception late in the first quarter, and Noel was able to take in a touchdown run after another West Salem interception. 2 interceptions thrown by Gerke in that first half before he finally kind of settled down a little bit. But Noel took it in for a touchdown. It was 14-0 West Salem. And then after Tomah had punted the ball, like I said, to Healy, he fumbles the football. Tomah pounces on it. They get it with 4:47 to go in the second quarter. They take about 3.5 minutes, almost 4 minutes off the clock, and that was big too, because they took about 4 minutes off the clock. They were able to get the 32-yard touchdown pass, like we mentioned, from Genevico to Xander Williams, and because they took so much time off the clock, West Salem then didn't have enough time then to go down the field and score. So that was big as well. The half ended on a 17-yard run by McConkey that did not get far enough for a touchdown. So we stand West Salem 14, Tomah 7 at the halftime break.
So that is the recap for the first half. We're going to take another break here at the halftime show. Be back close to kickoff. You are listening to the WKTY High School Game of the Week. We're going to hear from Wisco Sports Show host Grant Bills. That's coming your way next, and you're listening to the High School Football Game of the Week on WKTY.
Are you a man? Do you love football? Has that love gone too far? Well, I'm here to tell you it's not too late. Hi, I'm Chip Johnson, All-American quarterback and just kick-ass kind of guy, but also a member of GMWWJA, Grown Men Who Wear Jerseys Anonymous. That's right, Jersey boy. How old are you? 40? Take off that jersey. It's not too late. Become a member of GMWWJA today. Remember, admitting you have a problem is the first step. Seriously, Pops, take off that Manziel jersey. That's just embarrassing.
If you're a male over the age of 18 and unaffiliated with any team and still wear jerseys, it's not too late. Call now. 888-GET-LIFE. That's 888-GET-LIFE.
It's the geometry teacher who mans the ticket window.
It's the kid in grade school who paints her face blue and white before every home game.
It's the accountants and salesmen and store managers who give up their Friday evenings to referee.
It's the graduate who listens to the league championship game on the internet.
It's the parent who sells ads in the school athletic program.
It's the cashier at the corner convenience store who wears school colors on every game day.
It's the trainers, equipment managers, and ball boys who never miss a practice.
What makes high school sports here in Wisconsin so special? They do. You do.
We all do.
High school sports. It's the we that every community needs. This message presented by the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
Leroy Butler joining us. Leroy, let's start big picture to kind of fill you in on what I've been saying about the Packers on my show. Through 5 weeks, I'm not really scared of New Orleans or Chicago. I'm scared of Russell Wilson, but I'm not really scared of the Seahawks. The way I see it, through the first month of the year, the Packers seem to have as good a chance as any. The NFC kind of seems like it's open to be had. What do you think of the Packers as a contender, at least in the relation to the rest of the NFC, the rest of the conference?
Well, full disclosure, I mean, people may think I'm a homer, but it is what it is at this particular time. But the Packers are the best team. arguably one of the best teams in the entire league, because I would agree with you with Seattle. Russell Wilson could be in the MVP conversation already, but they got the worst defense. They're giving up almost 500 yards a game, so they're going to be in a shootout every week. The Green Bay Packers have a defense, although it's not great, but their goal is to make you punt 1 or 2 times a quarter. And they feel like they can, with the number one scoring offense, they can beat anybody. So, I know people looking at this Tom Brady matchup saying this is the marquee matchup people have been looking forward to. But, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, since they got Tom Brady, they thought that was a recipe. They thought they were one quarterback away. But as you know, it takes a team to get to the Super Bowl.
Well, yeah, they haven't looked cohesive yet. It seems like maybe they're close. I hope it doesn't all come together against the Packers on Sunday. I don't think historically strong defenses exist anymore, Leroy. I think, force you to punt once a quarter. Yeah, you make your bones in the red zone. You force turnovers and sacks. I don't think Pettine's defense has been great situationally so far. They've made some good plays here and there, but details like going into half, they've given up scores, right? They gave up a lot of quick scores against Minnesota when they went into the prevent defense, right? They had no clue what they were doing against Alvin Kamara, even though he should have been their one and only focus, right? What improvements can Pettine's defense make to be better at the little things, the situational things?
I think you're spot on, because normally, first, normally you're not playing in a pandemic, but normally the defenses are way ahead of offense. I'll be very honest with you. In my meeting room, it was like, one sentence. But if you go in Brett Favre's meeting room, it's a paragraph. So it's a lot of moving parts, but for some reason, the offenses are way out in front of defenses, and now it's a lot of patchwork. And you throw in injuries, oh my goodness, that makes it worse. Because a lot of these guys, the Chris Barnes of the world, most people don't even know who that is, but he'll be starting for the Packers at middle linebacker.
Yeah.
Most of these guys will be on practice squad, or they'll just be completing their 4th preseason game, not playing a pivotal game like the first game of the year, like against Minnesota. So it's going to be a lot of growing pains and on-the-job training for a lot of teams because of injuries.
Well, and I'm glad that you brought injuries up, because Kenny Clark is coming back, and I don't think we can overstate the importance of Kenny Clark. From a perspective, say, you were a former safety, and you did a lot more, you rushed the passer, you were all over the place, but from the perspective of a former safety, what is a superstar defensive lineman like Kenny Clark? How does he make everybody's life easier around him on the rest of the defense?
Penetration. Penetration is all what it's about. If you go back into the 90s, you look at Gilbert Brown and Santana Dotson, all I wanted them to do is get 3 feet in the backfield and then see what happens. I can react from there. If you don't have that, where you can get your helmet on the other side of the ball, then you're just going to get pushed around, and that's what people look at when they played against San Francisco, where Jimmy Garoppolo only threw the ball 8 times because they were able to run over 300 yards. So you got to get penetration. So if Kenny Clark is there, great. But if he's not there, by the way, he was there when they played San Francisco. But if he's not there, then the scheme has to help you. You have to have guys you really don't know very well to say, listen, if you're supposed to be in the B gap, stay in the B gap. Nothing gets you out of the B gap except for your wife and God. Other than that, you're going to create another problem, and there you go. A guy's off and running.
Yeah, penetration, just giving the pass rushers a chance, right? Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Leroy Butler, Packers great, should be Hall of Famer, joining us on the Wisco Sports Show. I want to talk really briefly about Kevin King, because it looks like he's going to be out this weekend. First question, how does a defense make up for missing a starting corner? That's a very important part of the defense. And second, where do you prioritize Kevin King in this upcoming class of free agents? Because I don't know about you, but I don't want to go back to drafting corners in the first and second round again. I feel like when a team has to draft starting corners in the first and second round, they're playing from behind. They're playing catch up. So how do the Packers make up for missing Kevin King? And then where do you prioritize him with all the upcoming free agents this spring as well?
If you throw in Donnell Savage, you look at the Packers, they got Jair Alexander first round, Savage first round, Kevin King second round. I mean, if you would think that sooner or later you would hit on one of these guys. Yeah. Kevin King traditionally has been what you needed when you lost to Julio Jones in the championship game. They went out and drafted him, 6'3" corner that can run, that's very physical. When he's not there, there's the issue. Now you lose a lot of size and you lose a lot of speed. So now they're going to have to find out another second-round pick, Josh Jackson, how good is he going to be? So, but if you're a coach and you're going into most teams have the one primary guy. You put Jair Alexander on him, and you roll coverage with the other guy. So, and that's the thing about the only difference between Alexander and King. Alexander needs to catch more interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
He has more opportunities, but he don't haul them in. It just seems like King takes care of the interceptions.
Well, really briefly, Leroy, because I hear this all the time. If Kevin King's out, they'll put Jair Alexander on the number one wide receiver, and then they'll roll coverage the other way. What does that mean exactly when you roll coverage to help out, say, Josh Jackson? What does that look like?
Well, you put him in a combination 2 coverage where he really just covers the flat and the curl area.
Okay.
You don't expose him very much, so you'll give him help if it's a speed guy. But normally it's the number one primary guy. The number 2 and 3 receivers, normally all speed guys. Now, Josh Jackson that has the great foot speed, but they may try him over there, maybe Sullivan. But you put all your stress on your number one cornerback to cover their number one guy, and you'll give him help in the intermediate areas. But for the most part, you got that guy mano a mano, man on man, and you just have to keep him under like anywhere from like 6 to 7 catches. It's hard to hold a guy as he did last week, Calvin Ridley, 5, targets and no catches. It's hard to do that every week, but that's why you want to get paid the big bucks.
Yeah, that's why Jair Alexander is turning into the corner that they hoped he would be when they drafted him. Leroy Butler, Packers great, joining us on the Wisco Sports Show. I was reading yesterday about pre-snap motion, and we see it a lot when we're watching the Packers now, something McCarthy didn't use a whole lot. Tyler Ervin going back and forth, and Lazard, when he was healthy, going back and forth. Yesterday I was reading the run numbers off of pre-snap motion. Yards per carry, explosive runs, yards before contact, all top 3 in the league when using pre-snap motion. But with no pre-snap motion, their numbers tank. They're way near the bottom. So from a defender's perspective, what does pre-snap motion do, either in the run game or the pass game, to make life harder on a defensive player who's trying to cover the play?
That's a good question, because people realize this. But when I was playing safety, me and Eugene Robinson, this is what we would do. If our offense lined up and gave us no shift, no motions, we dominated them. Okay. But if one guy moves, going motion, jet sweep, shifts, we have to reset the defense. And sometimes you can get another guy on your defense say, oh, wait a minute, I went from strong to weak, what's my responsibility? Next thing you know, the ball snaps and the guy's wide open. So what you try to teach your guys to do, what me and Eugene Robinson would do, we would play left and right safeties, not corners, left and right safeties. And at the end of the day, when the ball snaps, and that's about 5 seconds, that's when they got to either call a timeout or, they just got to, they'll get a penalty. We would just do our resets after that point. And Prince Sherman, the defensive coordinator, he would give me the option to change coverages. Other than that, you pretty much, they only move motion to see if you're in man-to-man.
Sure.
If a guy follows a guy, he's in man-to-man, here's my chart, what I'm going to call.
You're listening to WKTY Lacrosse 96.7 FM and 580 AM. Your home for the Packers, the Brewers, the Bucks, and all the best local and national sports talk.
Here on WKTY, Drew Kelly, Hunter Bamgradt, getting ready for the second half of action here. It's 14-7. West Salem with a chance to get back to a 2-score lead with the first offensive possession of the second half here as Tomah will kick it away. And here's the run up and the kick. It's a nice end-over-end kick taken at the 10-yard line and out across the 25 to the 30, running into a field of blockers and tacklers out across the 35 down to the 36-yard line. And it looks like it was Barney who gives the Panthers some good field position to start the second half, Hunter Bamgradt.
Absolutely, and I think, one of the things for Tomah that they need to do a better job of in the second half, just kind of looking at second half keys here, is Gerke, their quarterback, just not turning it over, has to kind of stay contained. They've not been able to run the ball super effectively, and so if they need to end up passing, especially if they get down by 2 scores, they need to end up passing. Gerke has to be a little better. And West Salem, keep doing what you did on the offensive side in the first half. It was very effective. Nice balance, a mix of running and passing. McConkey great on the offensive side, so should be a fun second half.
Read option. McConkey is going to keep it himself and get slung forward for about 4 or 5 yards on the play out across the 40 to the 44-yard line. So second down and medium. And they keep it in the hands of their quarterback on the first play from scrimmage.
Yeah, McConkey's done so good on that option, many times tonight, getting good yardage. And Tomah just can't seem to defend that yet. Can't seem to guess which one's going to get the ball in the end.
They say a gain of 6, second down and 4. 3 receivers out to the left side, 1 to the right. Here's the handoff, this time to Dumars. Actually, that's Noel. My apologies. Noel with a nice handoff, and that's going to be a first down. So good blocking up front by the Panthers, and it moves the chains.
Yeah, Noel with that touchdown run in the first half to give West Salem a 14-0 lead before, of course, Tomah went back and scored, and it was 14-7 at half. But it's been kind of a two-headed backfield there tonight with Dumars and Noel, and so far it's worked wonders for the Panthers.
First down and 10. 2 receivers out to each side. Noel still in the backfield with McConkey. And here is a receiver going in motion. That's Barney. He's going to get the handoff on the jet sweep going ankle, and he gets about 3 or 4, but a penalty on the far side of the field. Looks like another either holding penalty or block in the back. We'll see.
Yeah, West Salem's gotten a couple of those tonight.
Yep.
A little bit of undisciplined as far as penalties go, not only on the offensive side, but at a hold on the defensive side as well.
So they say illegal procedure. They really let that play go a long time for it to be a pre-snap penalty, but it's going to be first down and 15 for the Panthers here.
Yeah, interesting, but
10:43 left in the third quarter.
They let the kids play on that one.
They certainly did. Well, it went about 15 seconds, and I never heard a whistle. I don't know.
I didn't either.
I don't think anybody heard a whistle, which is why the play went on. First down and 15 with 10:39 to go. 2 receivers out to the left side and 2 to the right. 14-7, West Salem on top. Shotgun formation, McConkey, read option. Cuts upfield, keeps it himself. Big hole up the middle. Good blocking by the interior of the offensive line there as McConkey gets back the 5 yards and more out across midfield to the 46-yard line. And that's going to be a big-time gain. Call it 13 yards on first down and 15.
McConkey's been so impressive with his legs tonight. Whether it's the option, whether it's just a plain QB sneak, whether it's any sort of play that they run that he gets the football, it has just been impressive tonight. And that's a different dimension than you have with LaFleur at the quarterback position. 3
receivers right, 1 left. Here's the handoff to Noel. Nice bouncing run there as he bounced to the outside. He gets spaced and back up inside as he picks his way through the secondary of Tomah and gets another West Salem first down.
Yeah, West Salem continuing to get yards after the point of contact. They've been really good with that tonight. And Tomah on the other side, not so much. But West Salem's been able to get some yards after the first point of contact, and that's gaining them 3 to 4 or 5 yards every single play.
Looking for Dumars on the sideline. Don't see him. It's kind of a Noel type of drive here. Luke Noel. He's been effective, though. You got to keep the hot hand in there, though. So it's 2 receivers out to each side. Here's the quick pattern. A comeback route on a curl pattern. It's Healy who breaks the tackle, reaches for the first down marker, and he might have stepped out of bounds beforehand. They call it a gain of 7 on the play, second down and 3.
Yeah, West Salem, a nice drive right now so far. Just very methodically running, passing. Everything seems to be working coming into the second half. And I'm sure Tomah on the defensive side wanted to, stop them on this first drive. I'm sure a key that they talked about at halftime was don't let West Salem score in this first drive because you don't want to go down necessarily 2 scores. But West Salem doing a nice try to try to combat that.
Here's the bouncing run to Noel again, and he bounces back up inside again, gets another 7 on the play, out across the 30 down to the 29. So it's a pickup of 5 officially. It's another 1st and 10 with 9:11 to go here in this third quarter, and it just looks easy. I mean, there's no pressure really, not even, in the face of McConkey or kind of stuffing the running back in the backfield. It's just kind of, they seem to be doing whatever they want at this point.
Absolutely, and Noel starting to get most of the carries now. Dumars continues to be on the sideline. Not sure what the reasoning for that is, but Dumars had a couple of nice runs in that first half, but Noel getting all the carries now.
Read option. Up the middle is McConkey. Nice job juking a defender in the middle of the field, and finally still will not go down, and he gets about 10 yards. He took out the entire secondary of Tomah himself and comes up with a 9-yard gain.
just the size of McConkey can get him a few extra yards sometimes. Brett McConkey, a 6'2", 190 sophomore, and it's just been impressive to watch him run. Just run over defenders as a quarterback. You don't usually say it's almost like a Cam Newton type of run.
Yeah. That's going to be a fun to watch as a senior for him. If he can continue to grow and get stronger in the next couple of years, he's going to be a good one to watch here in the Mississippi Valley Conference. 2nd down and 1 with 8:05 to go here in the third quarter. Handoff is to Noel on a long handoff, and he's going to get what he can. He didn't have much, and he didn't have much to go either. So he gets about 2 and moves the chains. That time, actually a pretty good job penetration-wise by Tomah to get a little bit more push. But it still doesn't prevent them from getting the first down. Yeah, exactly. Just a short yardage situation. So they got the first down, even though Tomah did a nice job. And now they're inside the red zone. Can Tomah, get a huge stop here in the red zone? We shall see. But so far, this drive has been a lot of success on the offensive side for West Salem. 7:39 to go. We saw a similar drive on the opening session of the first half for Tomah. They weren't able to score. We'll see what West Salem can do as Noel pretty much just runs into the pile. Not a whole lot of running room there for him. He gets what he can. Gets about a yard gain on the play. And so the last couple of plays, you get a little bit more defensive pressure there by Tomah up front. And makes it a little bit more interesting here on 2nd down and 9. Hasn't been a whole lot of those for the Panthers here in this opening drive of the second half. Yeah, been a lot of 2nd and 4, 2nd and 3, a lot of gains of 5, 6, 7 yards on first down. And so this is a spot Tomah would like to be in on the defensive side. So they need to follow that up with a couple of more big plays here in the red zone. 2 receivers out to the right side and 2 to the left. Shotgun formation, Noel to McConkey's right. It's going to be a read option, and it's going to be a pitch to Noel. Noel, nice cut inside, nice cut to twice, and he pinballs his way off the defender, gets inside the 5, down to the 3-yard line. What a run. That was such a run. He was pretty much dead meat there in the backfield, it looked like, after McConkey decided to pitch it to him. A couple of Tomah Timberwolves around him, wasn't able to bring him down, and Noel continually has shown that he can continue to break tackles as he's going downfield. And like you said, just a pinball going down the field as train whistles show up here at the Panther field. First down and goal at the 4. He bounces off the tackler in the backfield as Noel drags defenders across the goal line for the touchdown. An individual effort there by big number 20, Luke Noel, and it's a 20-7 West Salem lead. Well, there's a reason that guy's getting more carries right now than Dumars. Holy man, that just is so impressive. Noel just finding spots and making spots, just doing what he does best, and that's bounce off tackles and breaking tackles and just using the power that he has to run into the end zone there. Beautiful run. Daly will kick the extra point. It's up, and it is right through. It's 21-7. Impressive drive for the West Salem Panthers. And we will be back in 60 seconds. We'll see if Tomah can answer. You're listening to the high school football game of the week on WKTY.
Midwest Family. Instead of just creating ads, we create strategies.
We don't simply want to put your business on the radio.
My job consists of being a consultant.
Every plan that we build is customized specifically for you, and that's across all platforms, including social and digital media, website design, and running radio ads.
It's taking all those different pieces and then putting them together into a comprehensive plan.
We want to discuss how we can help your business grow. We want to discuss your business.
There's nothing more important to us than our advertisers' success. And that's why it is so awesome to have these great success stories. Just call one of our current clients and ask.
Systematic solution for measurable marketing results. Midwest Family. Midwest Family.
West Salem, a big-time offensive possession for West Salem, makes it 21-7 with 6:20 remaining here in the third quarter. Here's the run-up and the kick by McConkey. It's a short one, taken at the 24-yard line by the Panthers, and now a fumble on the field, and I think Tomah got back onto it. You know, with 6:13 to go in the third quarter, there's a lot of time, but that could have been a game-ender had West Salem picked up that fumble And given the way they've been able to execute offensively, that could have been the game.
Absolutely.
Good job by West Tomah to get back on it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the fact that the Tomah Timberwolves are able to fall back on it, like you said, kind of a game saver there. West Salem, the way they've been playing, they go up 3 scores. It's going to be very tough for Tomah. So Tomah's got to have a good drive here. I told you before, Gerke's got to have a better second half. A couple of picks and just kind of throwing the ball up into the air. He's got to be cleaner, the senior quarterback.
And here's the split backs. They're going to call on a counter play to Westfall. Westfall breaks it back inside. Didn't see a whole lot on the outside that he liked, and not a whole lot on the inside either, but he picks up 1 on the play. It's going to be 2nd down and 9. Off the bottom of the pile that time is number 42 for West Salem, and that was Cody Risch. 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, Westfall, one of the only ones for Tomah to have success on the ground in that first half, and he probably had the most success for the Timberwolves. But otherwise, West Salem's defensive line has been fantastic against the run, and that's going to force Gerke to throw more, and West Salem, that's been advantageous to them so far tonight.
Split receivers and split backs in the backfield. Play action fake. They set up the screen play to Westfall, and it's going to be, I believe, a holding penalty on Gorski. He was with Westfall step for step as they try to hit him out of the backfield, and I think they're going to get Gorski with a little bit of a holding in that middle of the field.
Yeah, either holding or pass interference. Some contact there as the ball was, so holding is going to be the call, and Gorski doesn't like it, but it looked like
it was pretty tight coverage.
Yeah.
There, so either that was the best coverage I've seen all season, or a little bit of a hold.
A little bit of an illegal coverage there.
So they're gonna move the chains.
A 10-yard penalty gets them to the 45.
That's why I'm still confused on that previous.
Right.
In the first half, when it was a clear 15-yard pass interference, and it ended up being about an 8-yard penalty, which still brought up 2nd down. I don't know.
Maybe they called that a spot foul.
5:17 to go here in the third quarter. I'm not going to try to explain it. I have no idea. Here's the counter play to Westfall. Westfall plows ahead for a gain of 2. 2nd down and 8 upcoming. 5:05 remaining. And McConkey gets in there for the stop, and he's been all over the place defensively here tonight for the West Salem, as he was last week against Onalaska.
Yeah, that counter play that Westfall just took the ball on there, that's worked a fair amount of times tonight for the Tomah Timberwolves. One of the rare times that the running game has worked, but that time just bottled up by West Salem. McConkey there, and West Salem Panthers defense continues to be impressive here tonight.
2nd down and 8. Run receiver out to each side. Backs in the backfield. Here's the play action fake. A pass over the middle. Caught there in the middle of the field. And that's the 1st down. Caught by Luke Buckendahl, their leading receiver in yardage coming into the game. And a nice catch and a nice 1st down for the Timberwolves.
Yeah, I really like that play call. Just a very quick pass. If you're going to get Gerke back into a rhythm after kind of a rough first half, you just get a couple of quick throws. And even over the middle, maybe get some confidence back there. You know, throwing to an out route is one thing. Maybe throwing over the middle, get it, that's where one of his interceptions was. So maybe give him some confidence there throwing over the middle.
One receiver out to the right side, one to the left. Split backs to the backfield again. Gerke under center, straight back, little out pattern, complete this time once again to the big receiver Xander Williams, and he is shoved back immediately. Good coverage by Jack Healy. He closed in a hurry after that catch.
Yeah, Healy with a beautiful tackle there. Xander Williams is a tall guy, 6'5", and so it's hard to bring down.
6'5", 185 for the senior. The only touchdown of the game, courtesy of him and Cajun Ivico, the other wide receiver who came up on a jet sweep and found Williams streaking down the left sideline. This time, those are the 2 wide receivers again, 2 split backs to the backfield as well. And they do a handoff this time to Luke, and Luke gets absolutely nothing. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. 3rd down and 7. Might have lost a half yard.
Another little quick hitter with Luke there, giving the ball to him right after taking the snap, but that worked earlier for a big gain. One of the drives for Tomah, but that time not going anywhere. Now a 3rd down here as the clock continues to tick. Under 3 to go in the 3rd.
2:55 remaining here in quarter number 3. It's 21-7. West Salem on top on a frigid football Friday night, but we're glad to be here. Split receivers on each side, split backs to the backfield as well. Play action fake over the middle. And a wayward pass, I think, not a whole lot of room there as Buckendahl was the intended receiver. You had the running back, Evan Westfall, coming out of the backfield on a swing pattern. I think that was open, but with the pressure West Salem forced, not a whole lot of time for Gerke to even think there.
Yeah, we've seen the defensive pressure and the penetration by the West Salem defense. That's been able to really get to Gerke tonight. And when they do that, Gerke gets a little uncomfortable back there, as any quarterback would, and throws a bit wayward.
Split receivers on each side. Tight end lined up right side of the line. It's going to be a play-action fake again, going deep down the right sideline, and an incomplete pass going for Genevico. Not sure if it was a miscommunication or just a misfire there, as Genevico had some space up the middle of the field. That pass was more to his outside shoulder, and it brings up a turnover on downs, and so West Salem's defense comes up with the big play on fourth down, and they get the football back.
Yeah, the wide receiver had inside leverage there. If you throw that ball on the inside, you can most likely get a catch there and maybe even run for a touchdown, depending on how fast you can outrun Niemeyer there. But no, sir, and West Salem takes back over, and this is a big defensive possession for Tomah. And hopefully, if you're a Tomah fan, you're thinking, well, maybe force a turnover here, the Panthers.
So first down and 10 for West Salem. 3 receivers bunched out to the left side. Jack Haley alone on the right side, and it's going to be a penalty there, as looks like we've got a false start, 5-yard penalty, and we do. We talked about the lack of preparation for West Salem and kind of some of the mental mistakes. Those were more just clock management, not realizing how close it was till, 0. You didn't get a lot of false starts in that Onalaska game. It seems like it's more normal penalties here in this game with just execution-wise and not necessarily, the lack of knowing the play clock type penalties.
Exactly. They had a couple of delay games against Onalaska. Also, the snaps going over the quarterback, we've not seen that at all tonight. The snapping has been way better, so some improvement for sure.
First down and 15. Here's the jet sweep to Barney. Barney trying to get the edge, and he's going to get about 3 or 4 on the play, maybe about 2 or 3. And he gets across the 35 to the 36-yard line, so about second down and 12. Westfall gets the tackle. They've ran that successfully a few times, especially in that first half. The second half, it hasn't been there as much as the Timberwolves have been making some adjustments on that play.
Yeah, they have, and they've been able to stop them. So now a second and long situation, and if you're with Timberwolves, you continue to push them back, because that's going to aid well when it comes to third and fourth down.
Second down and 12 with 1:55 to go in the third quarter. Drew Kelly, Hunter Bamgradt. Hunter, and here's the swing pass, and a nice tackle there by Westfall. He's been a maniac as far as those open field tackles. Really good job by him. They try to get Calico out of the backfield, and he was dumped for a loss. Maybe back to where they were before. It's going to be down at 15.
Yeah, that was, like you said, a beautiful tackle by Westfall. Open field tackle, and he's not only doing things on the offensive side, trying to get that running game going, but he's a part of that defensive line as well for the Tomah defense. And now big 3rd and 14, because if they don't get any gain, if they gain 1 or 2 here, I don't think necessarily that they go for a 4th and long. No. So if you can stop them from gaining at least 5 here, you're in a good spot.
3rd down and 14 with 1:09 to go in the third quarter. 2 receivers out to the left side, 1 to the right. They're going to do the wide receiver screen, and the pass is too high for Jack Healy as McConkey had pressure in his face immediately. So the pressure from Tomah that time affects the West Salem quarterback as opposed to the other way around, and that brings up a 4th down, and Healy comes out to punt. Really needed defensive stand there for Tomah.
Absolutely, and Roy, we haven't seen a lot of pressure by the Tomah defense tonight getting into McConkey's face, but they definitely did there and forced an errant throw and a screen pass that could have went for a while there. So big stop for Tomah, and now they need to get the offense going.
Okay, Genevico standing back at his own 25-yard line. Daly with the punt. It's going to be a spiraling punt. Really good angling kick as it's going to take a few bounces, and wisely staying away from it is Kay Genevico. It's going to be 1st and 10 at the Tomah 23-yard line for the next possession. And I think the quick passing game is pretty much the key. If you're going to start passing the football, the offensive line just has been unable to protect Gerke to the point that you can really get those wide receivers deep down the field when he really needs you.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point. And the small passing game, the short passing game has worked a few times here for Gerke, and he had 2 picks in the first half. So obviously, not turning the ball over is going to be big for him. But just they got to get the running game going a little more to set up the pass, and just overall a little clunky so far tonight for the Timberwolves offense.
Well, you see how close the backs are to Gerke. It's about a 2-yard difference between him and Luke, as Luke gets the handoff, and he's going to pick up 2 on the play, 2nd down and 8. And, I'm not obviously an expert as far as kind of the spacing and that sort of thing. It just looks cluttered back in the backfield a little bit.
It absolutely does, and you contrast that with West Salem, who goes shotgun every single play, and it's just 2 different philosophies. Obviously, some coaches say we just want our quarterback to get possession of the ball under center. While West Salem is in shotgun every time, and those snaps can kind of go errant from time to time. But if you have a good center and you can snap it well, shotgun can give the quarterback just a little more time.
2nd down and 7, 14 seconds left here in quarter number 3. Handoff this time is to Luke, and Luke, we talk about a hole opening and closing, just met right at the line of scrimmage, maybe got 1 on the play, but coming in to get the tackle that time was number 50, Ethan Hager, and that will conclude quarter number 3. We've got a 2-touchdown lead for the West Salem Panthers. 4th quarter coming up for you after this. You're listening to the high school football game of the week right here on WKTY.
If it's happening in Wisconsin sports, you'll hear about it on the Wisco Sports Show.
I think the Packers can be better this year than they were last year. I really like the new direction they're headed. Defense, running game, they have a big room of tight ends. I think that's how you best help Rodgers extend his career and elevate his play as his physical gifts kind of deteriorate with age. Everyone is way too focused on the wide receivers. We got to stop thinking like Mike McCarthy still coaches this team. We were conditioned to think that the only way to play football is with 5 wide receivers, right? 5 wide and let it ride. That, by the way, actually, that would be a really good name for a Mike McCarthy documentary, biopic one day. 5 wide and let it ride. That actually sounds like a kick-ass movie. I'd see that.
Talking Wisconsin sports with Grant Bills. It's the Wisco Sports Show. Weekdays from 4 to 6 on WKTY.
At the Tomah 26-yard line as we start the 4th quarter. Panthers with a 2-touchdown lead, and it's getting down to game time as far as the Tomah Timberwolves really making a run at the Panthers here offensively and defensively. And here is Genevico going in space, and here is a throw deep down the left sideline. It's going to be caught right along the edge. What a fantastic grab with coverage all around him that time. And that was number 17, Xander Williams, pulling it down. Actually, that was, I apologize, Luke Buckendahl. And that was tight coverage by West Salem all the way down the field. But he had a great play on it at the last second, getting his hands up there, making the grab.
Yeah, West Salem came on a blitz and just able to get it off to Gerke and put it right on the money. That was an impressive throw and one that can give Tomah some good momentum as we start this 4th quarter.
2 receivers split out to each side. Shotgun formation for Tomah. Gerke takes it. Going over the middle. This time it's going to be caught. Almost dropped that time by number 27, Buckendahl again. But he's inside the West Salem 40 down to the 36-yard line. And 2 of the best offensive plays in succession here for Tomah. And it's 1st and 10 as we've got an injured player here for West Salem. Looked like the player wanted to get up, but refs and teammates wisely saying just make sure everything is all right. Let the trainers look at you. It's going to be 11:46 to go.
That play there was one of those where you're supposed to catch it before you start running, but that time he caught it and started running and somehow still caught it. That was kind of an impressive play by Buckendahl, and now Tomah with a couple nice pass plays there at the 35 of West Salem. And reminder, they last week came back from a deficit in the 4th quarter, a 10-point deficit. Now this is a 14-point deficit, but they were down 10 against Reedsburg in the 4th quarter last week, scored a couple of touchdowns, and was able to get a 28-24 victory bring some confidence into this one.
Shotgun again, 2 receivers split to each side. Looking a little bit more like West Salem's offense. We'll see. Here's the handoff to Luke. Luke gets nailed after about a 3 or 4 yard gain. He got smoked in the middle of the field. It looks like he had about 10 yards at first. But once again, West Salem's defense flowing to the football, closing these gains for minimal.
Yeah, Luke Knoll with the tackle there for West Salem Panthers. He's had a nice night, couple of touchdowns on the offensive side, and he's doing it as well on defense. So impressive when these high schoolers can do it, not only on one side of the ball, but the other as well.
I would not want to see him on defense. 2 receivers to each side. Here's the out pattern, complete to Xander Williams. Williams is ridden out of bounds by Keeley, and it's going to be down to about the 25-yard line, close to a first down. We'll see if they move the chains. And it looks like they will. Yep, it's a first down. Just got past the sticks. And with 10:54 remaining, they continue with the drive here. Tomah obviously going with a more passing attack and a little bit quicker pace, it feels like. They're getting out of the huddle. They're getting everybody set to the line and not taking a whole lot of time, just looking over the defense and going with it.
Exactly. And down 2 scores, a bit of a sense of urgency for the Timberwolves.
2 receivers split to each side, shotgun formation. Luke in the backfield with Gerke going deep down the right sideline, incomplete for Buckendahl. He had a couple of steps at his man. Pass for the touchdown was there, but the throw a little bit overthrown. 2nd down and 10.
We've seen a couple times tonight where Gerke's had a guy open down the field, and those over 20, 30-yard throws can be little errant by Gerke, but yeah, they've gotten some separation down there. The Timberwolves have, so that's been impressive. Just need to complete 1 or 2 of those. The one to complete one of those throws was Genevico, the wide receiver, to Xander Williams, and that only touchdown that Tomah scored tonight.
2 receivers split to each side, shotgun formation. Luke with the quarterback Gerke, and Luke gets the handoff, a draw play, and he has room in bunches. He gets all the way inside to 15, down to the 10-yard line. That was a big-time run. Ran angry on that play, and it's a 15-yard pickup for Tomah.
Yeah, Luke with the big run there. That was the most space he's had all night up the middle, and so he was able to take advantage of that, and now you've got 1st and goal at the 10, and man, that was an impressive drive by Tomah.
Got to finish, so though. 2 receivers out of the each side, and now it's going to be Buckendahl going to the left side, and now here's a one-on-one matchup. They're going for Xander Williams, and it's going to be incomplete as Healy was right on him. Good coverage there by the big wide receiver / cornerback. It's going to be 2nd down and goal at the 10-yard line. They just threw a jump ball pretty much there.
That's one where you got your 6'5" wide receiver out there on 1-on-1 coverage, and you say, hey, Hughes, go get the ball for me. And that's what they tried to do. But unfortunately, he didn't go get the ball for him. So Tomah still with a 2nd down and goal at the 10.
10:15 to go. Some very good coverage in the secondary by West Salem here tonight on Xander Williams. And now here's a fumble. Getting absolutely rocked was Luke in the backfield. Big number 79, Reed Rasmussen, just absolutely destroys Luke. Luke somehow pops up. It's going to be 3rd and about 14. 3rd and goal at the 14-yard line.
That could have been dangerous for Tomah. As soon as Luke got it, he got rocked, and the ball came right out, and Gerke was able to pounce on it. But, man, that could have been disastrous. Now you got 2 plays for Tomah. Obviously, you're in 4-down territory. You're going to get 2 plays. Do you try to go for a quick out route here to get half the yardage and then maybe go for the end zone? We shall see.
2nd down did not go well. Here's 3rd down. It's going to be pressure over the middle. Incomplete. He had his man on the slant pattern that time. Drew Brookman streaking over the middle. The pass was a little bit too hot to handle, and it's 4th down and goal.
Yeah, if he leads him, I think just a hair more, he might be a little better. But also, yeah, just rifled it in there. And we saw McConkey do it for West Salem. Sometimes the receivers, the ball's on you a little quicker than you expect, and it's cold as well. So your fingers aren't as well when you can grip it. But huge 4th down. Might even be the game here.
4th down and goal at the 14-yard line. 9:31 to go. As the West Salem's players jump up in excitement and also to keep warm, keeping their circulation from their feet from freezing on this frigid night. 9:31 to go here. Two receivers out to each side. Here's the shotgun formation. Gerke with some time. Fires over the middle. Is caught on the play. Drew Brookman with the catch and the touchdown. We're back to a 8-point game with 9:26 to go in this contest.
Well, the play before, they did basically the exact same thing.
Yep.
And it just was not able to connect. A little bit of a bad throw by Gerke, a little bit of a bad, just couldn't come up with it. Could the wide receiver. And then, second play worked. So impressive by Tomah. Big touchdown for the Timberwolves.
9:26 to go. Genevico with the extra point, high snap, and the kick is up, and it is right through. So 21-14, 9:26 to go here until we close up shop, and we're going to take a 60-second timeout. Back after this. You're listening to the high school football game of the week right here on WKTY.
Midwest Family Entertainment.
You're getting married and there are so many things to do, but one thing that I can help you with is the entertainment. I'm Brittany Stiles, the manager of Midwest Family Entertainment, the one you'll be meeting with to discuss music and timeline and all of the little details that mean so much. If you're getting married next year or the year after, or maybe you're throwing together a last-minute winter wedding, I'd love to talk with you. Head to our website and click on reservations to get connected with me.
MidwestFamilyEntertainment.com.
Hey, it's Dave, host of the WKTY Morning Show. Hope you are enjoying a very good Friday and a wonderful weekend. Friday, don't forget, high school football is on WKTY. Drew Kelly, Hunter Bumbart bring you West Salem versus Tomah. Sunday, the Green Bay Packers take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers meet for just the third time in their respective careers. On Monday, we'll break down all of the fun from over the weekend. We'll talk to Joe DeGuano and Grant Bills, host of the Wisco Sports Show. Have a great one. See you bright and early, 6 o'clock on Monday.
Salem, a big-time touchdown drive by Tomah to get this to a one-possession game. It's 21-14. Panthers on top of the Timberwolves. Panthers will be kicking off here. And here's the run-up and the kick, and it's going to be a line drive spiraling, taken at the 15-yard line by West Salem. And head of steam there. Allows the return man to get across the 35 down to the 36-yard line. So good field position here for the Panthers. And that was Barney with the return. He's had a few good returns here in this game to set them up in good position.
Yeah, and West Salem's been able to do pretty well on the offensive side. So Tomah's going to have a big stand again, like they have a couple of times tonight, to keep themselves in this game. They haven't played the best defensively. West Salem has played very well offensively, but there's just been a couple of times where Tomah's been able to get stops in order to keep themselves in the game. And so now this is another opportunity for the Tomah defense to do just that and try to have a chance. All you want is a chance to go try to tie it up.
Trips receivers bunched out to the left side, one receiver out to the right. McConkey in a shotgun formation. It's going to be a read option to McConkey as he keeps it and gets out about 2 yards on the play. About 40.5-yard line, second down, and about 7 coming up for the Panthers. That time West Salem, not a whole lot of room up in the middle there. Better job by Tomah's defense.
Yeah, and Tomah's just been overall better in this second half. We're tied at 7 as far as scoring in this second half, but man, the Tomah's been better on the defensive line, stopping the run, and they've also been better on the offensive side. So it's been showing some promise, and Tomah trying to get their second fourth quarter comeback in as many weeks.
Dumars. Absent here in the second half, takes the run off the left side, gets about 3 or 4 on the play. It's going to bring up third down and 4 with 8:25 and counting. And you know that West Salem wants to run this clock as well here as we get into the later stages of the fourth quarter.
Well, and they can do that. I mean, they have 3 great options. Dumars and Noel, of course, who has had some great runs tonight, but also McConkey, their quarterback, has had some big bursts for 15, 20 yards on option plays and things of that nature. So West Salem has some great options if they want to try to run this clock out.
And you take a look at the quick passing game of West Salem, and you trust your quarterback. If you want to throw it, he's going to get the job done and not stop that clock for you. So we'll see what they come up with. It's going to be a quick throw out to Healy, and Healy takes a nice couple of blocks and gets across midfield down to the 47-yard line. So that's a gain of 11 yards. They needed 4, and it's going to be 1st and 10 for West Salem, and that clock continues to bleed.
Yeah, that was a big third down conversion, and Healy made a nice move catching the ball and going back inside. You talked about it with the quick passing game of the Panthers. Definitely they have that, and that can work very well in this scenario. If you need to pick up a third down and keep that clock running, you can do a quick pass.
Terps receivers bunch to the right side. Healy alone to the left. They're going to hand it off on the draw play to Dumars. Dumars goes straight to the right side, literally like on an angle, straight to the sideline, finally gets cut down. And it's going to be 2nd down and 10. And Westfall goes to the bench. They need him in that game. I mean, he's a big-time defensive player for them and had a couple nice plays offensively as well. So we'll see if he can get back in the game. Currently holding his wrist or arms. Looks like he just got a stinger or something. And on a night like this, it can feel about 50 times worse.
Yeah, talk about stinging. I think my toes are stinging. I can only imagine what he's feeling out there.
You have feeling in your toes? Oh, good for you.
Yeah,
I don't. I have no idea.
Tyler, our engineer, no feeling, he says.
I'm hoping they're not blue right now. 2nd down and 10. 2 receivers out to each side. Shotgun formation. Here's McConkey. Stutter steps in the backfield as he goes to the left side. It's going to be incomplete, looking for his intended receiver, as that was number 11, Zach Niemeyer, trying to come back to the football, just not enough on it as he had pressure in his face.
I think some of the Tomah coaches up in the press box were thinking for the Tomah defender there that was on that play and doing the coverage, come back and try to dive, and try to make a play on that ball, Ethan McClurg there. And, it's interesting, some of the decisions by defenders, sometimes they're like, the ball's not going to be caught, not go for it. But if they think they can get a play on the ball, you always try to go for that interception, because you never know. A turnover would be absolutely huge at this juncture in the game.
2 receivers split to each side, shotgun formation in the backfield. Tomah is showing some pressure, and now a deep pass down the right sideline. And did he hang on? He did. Jack Healy with a fantastic catch. Jumps up. It was behind him. He had to go and get it with a Tomah defender right in his face. And that's a big-time play on a big-time 3rd and 10.
Yeah, Healy goes up and just snatches it out of the air, comes down and hits the ground hard. And with the cold weather, the hard turf, even harder tonight, but an absolutely beautiful catch. And now the West Salem Panthers set themselves up to really put this game in their favor.
1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. Here's the handoff to Dumars. Dumars runs the left edge, and he picks up about 2 on the play. It's going to be 2nd down and 8. As we get inside 6.5 minutes to go, 6:15 and counting. It's 21-14. West Salem with the lead and trying to close the door here tonight.
Yeah, it's interesting how the West Salem Panthers and Coach Yen use their running backs with, Noel doing the entire drive, a couple, like last big drive for West Salem, they used Noel the whole time. And now Dumars has been on the field basically this whole time. So they really just go drive by drive, and it works.
2 receivers split out to each side. Dumars to the right of McConkey. McConkey keeps it himself. Still keeps those legs churning. He is hard to bring down as he gets inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line, gain of 3. It's going to be about 3rd and 6 coming up here for West Salem.
Yeah, McConkey showing again that he can not only do it with his arm, but do it with his legs as well.
So 3rd and medium. As we've talked about, Hunter, West Salem not in a lot of 3rd and long situations. They're kind of putting themselves on pretty good positions in 1st and 2nd down, and it has been a big-time benefit to them as they've got a lot of options then on 3rd down, as you mentioned, with a running game and also that short passing game. 2 receivers to each side. Here is the read option. It's actually going to be a pass, play action fake over the middle, and it's going to be caught on the play by Jack Healy. Coming back to the football with a man on his back. Doesn't matter. And it's a 14-yard touchdown pass to Jack Healy. 4:59 to go, and it's 27-14, West Salem.
Yeah, that was kind of a dangerous throw because there were so many Tomah Timberwolves around him, but somehow went right to Healy. A beautiful pass by McConkey, who's been more than impressive in his first start at quarterback tonight in West Salem. Now with a big lead, almost going to try to make it here, 14-point lead over the Timberwolves.
So it'll be Daly with the extra point, and the kick is up, and it is going to sneak in. So it's an extra point, 28-14, and 4:59 to go in the game. 2-possession lead once again for the Panthers. 60-second timeout. Back after this, you're listening to the high school football game of the week right here on WKTY.
What's happening in your community? Here are some items from our calendar to put on your calendar. The Hunger Task Force has started its annual Festival Food Seeds of Hope campaign, which runs through October 25th. Funds raised through the Seeds of Hope help the Kane Street Community Garden. It allows them to buy seeds, bedding plants, fertilizer, and support the new ADA accessible garden coming in 2021. Last year, nearly 30,000 pounds of produce came from the garden to help those in need in our area. Just stop by the Festival Food Store in the Village Shopping Center or on Copeland Avenue in La Crosse, Crossing Meadows in Onalaska, or North Holman Drive in Holman. You can make your donation at any of the registers to help fight hunger in the Coulee region. If you have an item for our community calendar, please send it at least 2 weeks in advance to 201 State Street, La Crosse, Wisconsin, 54601, or email events@MidwestFamilyLacrosse.com.
Tomah, as we're back in West Salem, a big-time return out across the 30 and a 40, out to the 41 or 2-yard line. That was a nice play on the return by number 5, Ethan McClurg. And it's going to be first down and 10.
There's a massive block on that. Holy cow, somebody just blindsided someone else. Tomah person blindsided a West Salem. Couldn't really tell who it was, but somebody went flying and got up not too excited about it.
4:49 to go. Ball on the 42-yard line, and obviously tempo is going to become a factor here. And, if you do score, you're looking at an onside kick. Obviously, time working against the Timberwolves as they try to get back into this game. 2 receivers state side shotgun formation for Gerke, and he'll go straight back in the pocket, go deep down the right sideline, and it's going to be incomplete. Once again, a jump ball. Jack Healy, that time right on Xander Williams' hip. It's going to be second down and 10.
Yeah, I had the opportunity there, and when they need a big play, they clearly go to Xander Williams because he is a very tall receiver and can go up and get it. But that was the first time where we saw Gerke in the shotgun tonight, and that can give you some more time in the backfield. You get the snap, you're able to kind of see the defense a little quicker, but that time it didn't work out.
Second down and 10, 4:40 to go, 4:44 remaining here in the game. 2 receivers split to each side, second down and 10 at the Tomah 42-yard line. And now here's the quick out pattern, complete this time. They had a nice breaking tackle by Buckendahl, and Buckendahl gets enough for a first down. The ball comes out at the end, but they say he was already down. It's going to be a first and 10 here for the Timberwolves. Nice job by him to break an open tackle that time.
Absolutely, and great job by Buckendahl getting a couple of broken tackles into West Salem territory. They're going to need to score fast, and then we're going to have probably an onside kick scenario, something like it. Both teams with 3 timeouts, so keep that in the back of your mind as we go forward here.
So 28-14, inside 4.5 minutes to go. 2 receivers out to the right side and 2 to the left. Shotgun formation for Gerke as he has Luke to the right of him. And he will take the snap. West Salem comes on a blitz, going deep down the middle of the field. He's got his man open. It's going to be Brockman, who could not hang on. What a great almost catch, Willie Mays style, as he looks over his back shoulder. Almost got it. Second down and 10. Just another about placement of the football. It's still a heck of a throw for a high school quarterback to make, but, he had space up the middle of the field, as we've talked about with Genemico previously.
Yeah, exactly. These wide receivers get some space, and for Gerke, it's just been just a little off on times, and unfortunately, that's not what happened there, as we some upset coaches here. Maybe disagreeing with the play call being called.
At least they're not swearing,
Exactly.
It's a PG version of displeasure right here as we have 4:06 to go in the fourth quarter. Here's the swing pass out to the left side. It's Westfall. Westfall breaks a tackle, has a guy dragging on his ankles, and he's out across the 45-yard line down to about the 42. That's a pickup of about 5. And it's going to be 3rd down and 5. Clock continues to run as he couldn't get out of bounds.
Westfall looking kind of a little beat up, coming up a little slow, stays in the game, but that guy's been all over the place on offense and defense. He's gonna sleep well tonight, Drew.
3:37 to go. Here's the shotgun formation. Gerke straight back in the pocket, goes to the right side, and a nice job reading the play and coming up to break it up that time. Number 20.
I think it was Healy.
Number 22 was Sam Schmidt, who was able to break up the pass. A great job by him. And it's going to bring up 4th down and 5 with 3:32. And basically, this is the game.
Yeah, it basically is, because Tomah's down 2 scores, and you can't give the ball back to West Salem with just over 3 to go, down 2 scores.
2 receivers out to each side. Shotgun formation as Tomah tries to keep their hopes alive. And Gerke rolls out to his left. Almost sacked, and now he is sacked. And now there's a flag and a couple of flags that come in. He was taken down by around the neck. And we're going to get a face mask or a horse collar or maybe both. Here, roughing the passer is also another name for it. But that was a sack in which, he pump faked initially, got out to the left side, and it looks like he looked like he was going to get around the defender, but the West Salem defender just grabbed him at the last second. That was McConkey, and that's going to keep the play alive. A personal foul, roughing the passer penalty. It's going to be 1st down and 10 at the West Salem 34-yard line. 3:26 to go here in this 4th quarter. 2 receivers out to each side. Tight end lined up left side. And here is Gerke. Low snap. He just has to pick up and go himself. And now he's got plenty of space inside the secondary down to the 20-yard line. So it looked to be a disaster, but he makes the most of it. Everybody was surprised that he was able to just pick it up and just go straight down the field. It works out well.
Absolutely. So a couple of weird plays. One a face mask and now a fumbled snap, which is getting them to the 21-yard line.
1st and 10. And here's the low snap again. Gerke stands in the pocket, goes over the middle for Williams, and he can't hang on. He got hit as he tried to catch that football. McConkey was there, so was Noah LaFleur. And it's going to be 2nd down and 10 at the 21.
It's been a little surprising a couple times tonight where Gerke's overthrown Williams, and Williams 6'5". It's hard to overthrow a guy who's that tall, but then I think it kind of gets in your mind, well, he's tall, I need to put it up there, and maybe that kind of gets in your mind, and that can lead to throwing it a little over Xander Williams.
So 2nd down and 10 at the 21-yard line. 2:55 to go here in the game. 28-14, West Salem looking for their first win of the season. Looking to get to 1-1, and here's the pass down the right side for Williams again. This time too far, and it's going to be a catch in the end zone. This time a defensive catch in the end zone for Jack Healy. And that will officially wrap things up with 2:49 to go here in the contest. They have had great coverage on Xander Williams all night long. Great job by the West Salem defense.
Absolutely. Great coverage, like you said, on a guy who is 6'3" and tough to cover. And just kind of, honestly, I feel like Williams could have gotten that football, and I feel like he didn't go for it as much as he maybe should have. But either way, Healy went for the football more, and he got the catch, and West Salem with an impressive showing tonight, bouncing back after a loss, which they competed like crazy last week against Onalaska, only lost by 2, came out with a chip on their shoulder this week, new quarterback, and it's worked out really well for Coach Yen and the West Salem Panthers.
2:49 to go. I'm going to see a few runs, obviously, here. And if you'd have a student section, they'd be chanting, warm up the bus, but warm up the cars anyway. Trying to get out of here as we have here a run. McConkey keeps it on the draw play as a read option. It's going to be a gain of 2, 2nd down and 8. And we got a timeout on the field as Tomah burns their first with 2:43 left. We'll take a 30-second break, and we'll be back to finish out this game right after this. You're listening to the High School Football Game of the Week right here on WKTY.
I don't believe it. My savings are gone. They're gone.
You're kidding.
Nope, they're gone. They're gone.
Okay, all right. Think about it. Where did you have them last?
I remember I was home, then I took them, and then I spent them on that vacation to Aruba. Then I bought this miniature suit of armor I saw in the in-flight magazine.
And that's the last you saw of your savings?
Yes.
This is so weird.
I know, right?
Weird? Not really. Not saving now means no money later. You'd be surprised how quickly a little money from every paycheck can really add up. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free ideas and easy ways to save, go to feedthepig.org. That's feedthepig.org.
The armor is cool, though. Oops. I think I broke its gauntlet.
You broke my favorite part.
This message brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
Back here at West Salem, as Noel gets the carry off to the left side, it looks like a holding penalty. It looks like on West Salem, I believe. He's going to push that back. It was 2nd down and 7 after the read option. And it is a holding penalty on the Panthers. 2:35 to go, and that stops the clock. So a free timeout is for a certain degree for Tomah here, and that'll push him back 10 yards. And obviously a situation Tomah's got to basically rip for the football, trying to get a turnover here and maybe get a quick, easy field and a timeout called by Tomah. And you take a look at what Tomah's done. Obviously, better execution in the second half offensively. West Salem, I think, has done a good job of adjusting to that. And a lot of close calls by this Tomah offense where you had opportunities in the secondary and just a little bit off the outstretched fingers of your receivers, or there was a missed block or something happened where, it didn't work out. But, Tomah's had some opportunities. West Salem's done a nice job, though, of keeping those at bay.
Yeah, 1 or 2 of those plays, and Tomah might be within 7 or maybe even tied at this game. So it's not like Tomah's, that West Salem is a ton better than Tomah. It's just West Salem has definitely outplayed them tonight, done the little things right, done the little things that they had to clean up from last week. They have absolutely cleaned up for this week. And this is going to be a formidable opponent. I talked to Unalaska's coach, Tom Yashinsky, after last week's game, and he said, West Salem is a team that's going to be very good this year. We caught them maybe on their first week of the year when they don't have all their ducks in a row, but man, they are going to be definitely competitive, more competitive than last year. And last year, they first winless season since 1987. Tonight will be their first win since 2 years ago.
And here is the draw play. Noel does a nice job to spin out of a tackle in the backfield. Might have gotten to the line of scrimmage, and that was it. And it'll be 3rd down and 11. Either the 3rd or the 2nd timeout taken by Tomah. We'll have to see for sure with 2:29 to go in the game. And, you're going to have a fun game, I think, next week. You got Aquinas who's scoring about 30, 35 points a game. West Salem with this newfound offense with Brett McConkey at quarterback and all the running games that they have. I think we've got a high-scoring game affair in store for us next week. It's going to be fun, and we hope you join us here on WKTY. And you take a look at what McConkey in his first high school game has been able to do as a starting quarterback. I think he's impressed a lot of people.
I think so too, and that's something I'm going to ask Coach Yen about when I do the post-game interview, which you can hear highlights of on the WKTY morning show coming up Monday morning. Dave Carney will have all the highlights from it, and I'll go talk to him, just ask him, what can he say about his sophomore quarterback coming in? It sounds like 1 week notice, and comes in and starts, and absolutely, not only did he do it, what was so impressive to me is he for sure looked commanding of the offense, but also not only could he do it through the air, he could do it through his running game as well. His be able to break tackles and kind of act as their 3rd running back. It was super impressive.
2:29 to go in the game. McConkey in the shotgun, pitches it, almost fumbled, and now it's going to be picked up in the backfield. Noel unable to cleanly get the pitch that time, and loss of about 3. No timeouts left for Tomah, and the clock will continue to run here as it gets inside 2:10 to go in the game. 28-14. Tomah might have one final chance here with Genevico returning it here.
That could have been interesting if the ball would have went into Tomah's hands on the bounce there after he fumbled it. But if nothing else, give Tomah maybe get some momentum heading into next week for them. They overcame a 10-point fourth quarter deficit last week. Looks like that might not be the case here coming up here tonight.
It's going to be Daly with a punt. Genevico standing back at his own 45-yard line. And they might wait for the 5-yard penalty, or are they going to take a timeout? So West Salem takes a timeout here. They've got 2 left, 1:37 to go in this one. They'll talk it over. We'll take a final 30-second break, and we'll be back right after this. You're listening to the High School Football Game of the Week on WKTY.
Midwest Family Entertainment.
You're getting married and there are so many things to do, but one thing that I can help you with is the entertainment. I'm Brittany Stiles, the manager of Midwest Family Entertainment, the one you'll be meeting with to discuss music and timeline and all of the little details that mean so much. If you're getting married next year or the year after, or maybe you're throwing together a last-minute winter wedding, I'd love to talk with you. Head to our website and click on reservations to get connected with me.
MidwestFamilyEntertainment.com.
Back here at West Salem, 1:37 to go. A timeout called by the Panthers as they're about to kick this one away, or punt this one away, rather. Daly back at his own 3-yard line. And that's going to be a spiraling punt. He's got a leg on him. Janivico gets it at midfield, takes it up the left sideline, and goes out of bounds, trying to conserve as much clock as he can out to the 40-yard line. 10 yards on the return by Janivico, and they'll take over with 1:28 to go here in quarter number 4.
Tomah, well, they were close to blocking that, to be honest. They got a nice rush there on the punt, but we're not able to. And a nice punt by West Salem, and Tomah will see if they can maybe eke out at one more score here in the last minute, 28. I'm guessing
10 ball on the 41-yard line. Pretty much a heavy dose, I think, of Buckendahl and number 17, the big 6'5 receiver, Xander Williams, coming up here. Both of them in the pocket, has some time, now feels some pressure, gets out of a sack, still looking down the field, goes to the left side and just throws it away. Good coverage on the back end for West Salem, as that time good protection up front by Tomah, but nothing to do in downfield.
Yeah, they've had some very nice coverage in the back end for West Salem tonight, and now they're playing, kind of a more of a prevent defense, right? Yep. Making sure that kind of everything stays in front of them. They're okay if they give up the 5-10 yard out or something like that, but don't want to give up the quick play where they can all of a sudden Tomah scores and they can kick an onside kick and try to have some miracles happen at West Salem High School on a Friday night in October.
2nd down and 10. 2 receivers split to each side. Shotgun formation again for Gerke. And here's the snap. He goes straight back in the pocket. Goes over the left sideline. What a leaping catch by Drew Brockman. And he goes inside the 20-yard line. Ref says he was down. You hear the coaching staff in the background saying, let's get up to the line and go here. It'll be a 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line for Tomah. Brockman,
great catch there
got up
by
about
Brookman.
3-4 feet, or Brookman rather. 1:10 as the clock continues to run. 2 receivers out to each side, and we still got a game. Here's Gerke. He's going to fire to the right side. Williams catches it, gets inside the 10, cuts inside. He's down to the 9-yard line, but he had to get out of bounds. Did he get the first down? It looks like he did. So he tries to cut back inside, get some more yardage. But you do got to go here. No huddle for the Tomah offense with 53 seconds to go. Clock will run when the ball is set, and it does so here.
Xander Williams, he looks a little hurt. He's holding his wrist, so I think he got hurt a little bit there.
1st down and goal at the 8-yard line, 43 seconds to go. Safety going over trying to prevent another Williams touchdown, and what a job there by Calico as he jumps up and knocks it away. It's going to be 2nd down and goal at the 8-yard line with 36 seconds left here in this 4th quarter.
Yeah, that was a dangerous pass because Brookman, he threw it before Brookman turned around, partly because West Salem's pressure was right in his face. And so the West Salem Panthers had a couple of defenders that were seeing that ball all the way there, almost an interception. But Tomah going to take some shots at the end zone here to try to somehow get this within a 1-score game.
I think he realized that Xander Williams was a little gimpy on that one as well. Probably wouldn't be able to go to him in the first place. 2nd down and goal at the 8-yard line. Gerke over the middle. It's going to hit the cornerback in the back of the head, and it's 3rd down and goal. So technically a deflection again for number 22, Sam Schmidt. He's had a few of them. This time his head does the work. 3rd down and goal.
And it's the easiest deflection when you don't even have to do anything.
It is.
You just let it hit your helmet.
That's right. That's why they wear them. 31 seconds to go here with the Panthers up by 2 touchdowns, 28-14. 1 receiver out to the right side, making 3 receivers out to the right side, 1 to the left. Brockman out to the left side, or Brookman rather. And now here is the snap. They go to Brookman. It's going to be a fade route to the corner of the end zone. It's going to be incomplete. That makes it 4th down and goal.
Game on the line
finally
now.
With the stoppage of play Gerke can go over to the sideline and get the play call from the coaching staff on the sideline. We'll see what they run up here on the
West Salem fans getting into it a little bit for this play. Haven't heard much from them tonight, especially compared to the Unalaska fans that we've been so accustomed to the last couple of weeks. It's just the first time that, honestly, it's weird. Last week it was like 82.
Yeah, I was
this
sweating.
week it's 42.
Yep.
I was sweating too. It's Wisconsin.
It's a little different. Two receivers out to each side. And here is the snap. It's going to be Gerke rolling out to the left side, still trying to find some space, and he throws it incomplete, looking in the left corner of the end zone there. Intended on the play was Brookman, and that is going to do it for the game. It's 20 seconds left. West Salem is going to take over at their own 8-yard line, 28-14. And I'll just say it, Hunter, we've had 3 games. We've had 3 well-played games by these high school football teams, and it's been great to be out here on these Friday nights, these last 3 weeks.
And this win is a big one for the West Salem program. They're excited because they didn't win at all last year, and coming into this year, obviously they have players that are kind of stepping up, and so this is stepping into their role more. And they had a great experience last year. This is a good win for the program of the West Salem football.
Brett McConkey will take a knee, and in his first high school football game, he gets the victory, and that will do it as the clock will wind down to 0. Final score in this one, West Salem, their first win of 2020. They're 1-1 on the season. Tomah falls to 1-2, and as Hunter mentioned, the players and fans finally can celebrate here at West Salem High School. We're going to take a 90-second break, and we're back to wrap things up. Right after this, you're listening to the high school football game of the week on WKTY.
Instead of just creating ads, we create strategies.
We don't simply want to put your business on the radio.
My job consists of being a consultant.
Every plan that we build is customized specifically for you, and that's across all platforms, including social and digital media, website design, and running radio ads.
It's taking all those different pieces and then putting them together into a comprehensive plan.
We want to discuss how we can help your business grow. We want to discuss your business.
There's nothing more important to us than our advertisers' success. And that's why it is so awesome to have these great success stories. Just call one of our current clients and ask.
Systematic solution for measurable marketing results. Midwest Family. Midwest Family.
Hey, it's Dave, host of the WKTY Morning Show. Hope you are enjoying a very good Friday and a wonderful weekend. Friday, don't forget, high school football is on WKTY. Drew Kelly, Hunter Bumbart bring you West Salem versus Tomah. Sunday, the Green Bay Packers take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers meet for just the 3rd time in their respective careers. On Monday, we'll break down all of the fun from over the weekend. We'll talk to Joe DeGuano and Grant Bills, host of the Wisco Sports Show. Have a great one. See you bright and early, 6 o'clock on Monday.
Back here at West Salem, final score in this one, the West Salem Panthers get the victory over the Tomah Timberwolves, 28-14. Grant, your final thoughts on this one as we wrap things up on WKTY.
Yeah, this is a great game. It was fun to watch, even though it was a chilly night. Great to have high school football. And West Salem with an impressive win. First win since a couple of years ago. Of course, they went winless last year, so it's big for the program and big for the players. They're clearly super excited about this win, and I think they are going to be very excited heading into the rest of their season, that they are competitive. They are a team to one of the teams to beat here in the MVC, and they had a very impressive win tonight. And on Tomah's side, they had some things to be proud of as well. Obviously, didn't go as well as they'd hoped, but Gerke could have had maybe a little bit of a night, but he made some really good plays. They had a trickery that really went well, and the fact that we're bouncing up and down in the stands here, I think we should we'll wrap it up here soon, because we're all trying to have the blood move to our toes once again. But great game tonight. Fun to watch West Salem with a fantastic showing.
West Salem and Aquinas coming up next week. And that will be a 6:50 pregame, 7 o'clock kick right here on WKTY. All the ways, obviously, to stream it. and listen to it here on WKTY. Appreciate Tyler Woodward braving the cold with us, Hunter Bamgradt. Also, Grant Bill's back in the studio keeping everything running. We do appreciate all of your listeners and all the sponsors. Final score once again from West Salem. Panthers win this one 28-14. You've been listening to the high school football game of the week right here on WKTY. Good night.
Western Wisconsin Sports League.
Touchdown!
WKTY Lacrosse.